Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
All right. Yeah. Blast off. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out with us live where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies, and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go off-world tonight.
Woo-hoo and choo-choo. Just realized that we still have the Bayathir hotline up there.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't call that now.
Yeah,
It's too late.
yeah.
You missed it.
Joe, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thrilled to be here. I want to kick the tires and light the fires because we're going
I got
off.
it wrong. I put lick the tires, butts on fire. That's not. Damn it.
I don't know what you're doing over there in Missouri, but here in Nevada, we're kicking tires and
A
lighting
little bit
fires.
of spicy food, you know.
You do
Yeah.
you, and I will not judge you, Curtis.
I appreciate that. That. Well, I think we're gonna have some other folks with us tonight. I know
Okay.
we've got one here right now that is pretty much here all the time with us. He never bails on us, leaves us for other shows or anything like that. Like
That
he
is
wouldn't do that.
100% true.
He's
Absolutely.
very
loyal.
committed,
Loyal
very
friend.
loyal,
Yeah.
100%. I would say he's awesome. So
That has been said about him more than
there he is, the loyal off-world member, Oz. What's up, Oz?
It's pretty good, but with that being said, I got to bail at 10 p.m. because I actually have another show that I got to be on.
What?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're a hot commodity, you get double booked. And unfortunately, I am double booked tonight.
Jeremy Gerard did not mention my name on his show.
Yeah.
I've got no other shows to be on because of that. So yeah.
Fame
comes responsibility, Oz. I understand.
It happens. It happens. But yeah, I'll have to be rolling over to another show. However, I could not miss being here because this is Let's Go Off-World. This is how I have to start my weekends.
He uses us for one telethon, gets famous, and
gets
then
famous, blows up,
moves on.
Look,
You know?
look. I love you guys. You know I'm here for you.
All right. Well,
it's like when Lex Luger went back to WCW.
There you go.
You got to go where the paycheck is.
Yeah.
Look, if y'all are getting paid for this, I'm clearly on the wrong side of this thing.
We are clearly not getting paid.
Because
I can't even clean up the garbage in the background. So that's how hard up I am.
I just keep my camera up higher so you don't see all the boxes.
Then you'd see how crappy my roof is. Ceiling. So
I did want to say, call the Bayathir hotline. Call that now.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Call the Bayathir hotline.
Is the message? Is there a new message there?
There is a new message because we ain't done yet.
Oh, all right.
So call in to the Bayathir hotline, guys.
Well, there
call
you
it
go.
in. Get yourself a surprise.
It's just Gina on there going, wah, wah, you missed it.
Well, since we knew that you were taking off on us, Oz, we can't just replace you with one person, right? And we can't just even replace you with just it's got to be something spectacular, right? So I thought, okay, it's YouTube. What is the best thing on YouTube, right? Like I just had to rack my brain. Like if I'm going to replace Oz, we just did a telethon last week. How we can't one up that, right? Like, well, okay, what's the best thing on YouTube that I could get? And I thought double joining, right? Talk about it every week. My favorite show on YouTube. So I've invited the boys here tonight. And we've already got Mark here with us. Welcome, Mark, to the show.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing, sir? Oh, you are muted.
He's muted. He's got himself muted.
Yeah. He's used to that restream thing, so you gotta give him a little. Yeah, gotta give him a second.
We'll edit this out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there should just be a little mute. There you go.
Wait, we edit?
Still got nothing.
Oh no! What happened?
I don't know. We don't have any voice from you.
He's gonna be a silent contributor,
Folks. I want to remind you all: we are professionals, just not at this.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's been dealing with that restream thing. He's not used to the StreamYard. He's lost his way, so he's almost there. Nope, we still got you. I think now you're muted on the screen, but yeah, there we go.
Let's try this.
Kind of. So it kicked in and then kicked out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, folks. Maybe we will hear from Mark. What I will say, while Mark is working on his audio, once again, Saturday mornings. Now they've moved their time because there was some West Coast folks that were going like, it's too early. I can't get up that early.
I'm up at like 5 a.m. every Saturday.
Yeah, I mean. The channel is Saturday Morning Toy Collector, right? And it's supposed to like bring you back to the days of when you would wake up early in the morning on Saturday morning, get yourself a bowl of cereal, watch the cartoons, and yet these West Coast guys are like, oh, I can't get up that early. So they had to change their time. They had to move it back. It's now 11. Yeah, it's now 11 Eastern. But once again, best show on YouTube. Now I think we've got him. Mark, thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey, listen, I've just been sitting here enjoying all you guys just sing my praises. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. The funny thing is that, Greg and I did not set out to be the best thing on YouTube, specifically on Saturday morning. We didn't even know we were going to be on Saturday mornings because there was another show called Saturday Morning Live. And we thought, ooh, are we going to like mess up their fan base? Or are we going to like, would they get mad if we were on it? And so like, we just like, what time worked for you, Greg? Is basically what I said. And he said Saturday mornings. And I was like, that's the time slot that I wanted because that's when Saturday morning cartoons were on. And it just made sense. Like if we came on Sunday mornings, people would be like, hey, where's the synergy? How come you guys couldn't like figure this out? So we made it work. And to be fair to my West Coast buddies, it wasn't that. It was something
I know. I just like giving them shit.
It had something to do with Greg and his time on Saturday morning. So, we kind of adjusted a little bit. It was at 10. Now it's at 11.
Now
it's okay.
I will say when you had to adjust the time though, you did put a poll out there and it was, you can make it later or earlier. And during that time, the West Coast guys were definitely like, I can't get up.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, that's just too early, man.
Yeah.
I'm still on the 405 going over to the 210 and the 103 at that time. And I was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Exactly.
But
thank you for having us. My cohort will be here soon. I think he still is on West Coast time. He's not.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
He'll be here.
We've got a few things to discuss too when he gets here, so we'll save some of that. But yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Well, I am Pacific time also. I wouldn't exactly say West Coast being in Nevada, but Pacific time. And
if we ever lose California to the ocean, though.
Then you're West Coast.
Property, baby. I've already got the sand. I just need the ocean.
That's right, man.
I work Saturdays, so I'm up at 4:30 my time every Saturday because I have to go to work. So,
hey Joe, I have a question.
Sure,
because I think Arizona does this. Do you guys recognize like daylight savings time?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Arizona that doesn't, right?
Does
Is
it?
that
Right.
correct?
Arizona
Okay.
is like the only state that doesn't recognize it in its entirety.
Right.
There are some other weird local counties and stuff like that within other states that don't recognize it either, which that's really got to mess with you. Because if you're going like county by county basis in different areas, like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, set your watch back here. Nope, now jump it forward here. Man, forget all that. We just need to get rid of that daylight savings.
I think if you
bullshit.
live there, it's probably just normal to you. But I could see like if you moved there, that would take some adjustment.
Yeah.
Having the times.
I've
be
no-
weird.
What time are you going to get to work today, Mark? When I get there, guys, I don't know. So literally about 30 minutes down the road, we switch from East Coast to Central. We just missed it, like 30 minutes down the road, west of Tallahassee, Florida. It changes. And I had a buddy of mine who lived in Eastern and he worked in Central. And so he would leave work and he would get to work an hour early. And then when he left at 5, he would get home at 5. And so it was, I'm like, dude, I don't know how you kept up with this every day. Like it would drive me
that would,
bonkers.
that would
He's like,
mess
hey.
with me. Well, you know what the other weird one is too? So Texas is a huge state, we all know. And
Heard.
Never heard of it.
it skips mountain
Never
time,
heard of her.
but like the whole state of Texas is like central time, except for El Paso. They're mountain. So like that's a 2-hour difference in one city.
That's
All you
crazy.
got to do is cross that line, and it's suddenly a 2-hour difference because now you're Pacific.
And they say
I don't
time
even-
travel is impossible.
Exactly.
I don't even know why we do it anymore. There's
It is
like
pretty
really no
dumb.
reason. Yeah, at this point,
Yeah.
like the
You know,
reasons
I-
that they started doing it just don't exist anymore.
Hey,
Right. You know, I always had heard that it was because farmers could have like an extra
Mhm.
hour of like sunlight, whatever. But actually, if you go back and read it, that's actually not the case. It's actually candles. They did it so
Yeah.
that people would have to buy less candles and keep their houses lit. And so it was like trying to save them money,
Right.
And I was like, what? Big candle?
What?
Big candle
Even-
let that happen?
yeah, big
even,
candle industry.
Even
Hey, Joe,
farmers now, because I live in a farming community, the tractors have giant lights on them and they can farm anytime they want. That is no longer an issue and hasn't been for a very long time. So, all right, Curtis, I said my piece. Go ahead.
Sorry, but we've got a request from the chat. Apparently, you're blinding everybody. If I don't know if you've got the hat
Yeah, if they
nearby.
could just close their eyes, that would be great.
What you want him to
I
put
mean,
on a hat or turn his light down?
I had
well,
a hat on.
yeah.
But I have my head at a weird angle, so I was always covering my face with the bill of my hat, so I just took it off. Blake actually complimented my shiny dome earlier, and I appreciate that from Blake, and everyone else can kick rocks.
Now,
Yeah, put on sunglasses, everybody.
quick question for you, Mark. I heard that LegionsCon that you and Greg are sharing a room. Is that true?
This is how the rumor mill gets started. So no, we're not sharing a room, but we did share a bed last LegionsCon. Now,
And is this
I'm
kind of
gonna
what it
leave it.
looked like?
What is he holding? What are they holding? An
They're
ice?
sharing a
ball of
bowling ball.
ice? A bowling ball.
Yeah, that was an episode where they got
exactly-
their fingers glued into the bowling ball together. So
Yes, yeah. If everybody hasn't heard yet, yes, we are now affectionately known as Fred and Barney because we both go around barefoot.
Hey,
I love it. I think it's great. I've always kind of seen myself more as a Barney Rubble kind of guy, but I am pretty crotchety. Of the two of us, I'm more crotchety, so I guess I have to be Fred. So yeah, it's
Gotcha.
fine. I'm okay.
I
I was so tired, and we stayed with friends last year, so I didn't have a hotel room.
yeah.
And I was so tired. I had to have my nap. And I went upstairs to Greg's room. He's like, you can come up and have a nap anytime you want. And I couldn't find him. I'm like, I got to go up and I got to go lay down. So I went to his room. Andy's in one bed, Greg's in the other. And I'm like, well, some decisions are going to have to be made here. So I crawled in bed with Greg and I took a nap. And it was quite pleasant. But I can tell you the body heat that the two of us put off,
Mhm.
you could power a small town. There's no doubt
I can
about
see
it.
that. I can see that. After
the robots from Matrix would be after you guys first. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, we are. Yes, we are D batteries to everybody else's double A's for sure.
Now, after the hotel going up and then immediately selling out today, I think there's probably going to be a lot of people trying to share rooms this year. You're gonna have 5-6 people to a room. So
You know what's so weird about this too? So 2 years ago was my last LegionsCon, my first LegionsCon that I ever went to, and there was a couple of people on Saturday morning that were first in line. And while we were all kind of standing in line, I think I got up at like 6 and got down there, and I was probably like 40th, 50th in line, not too far back. And I went up, I was just walking around and I went to the guys that were first in line and I said, "What time did you guys get here this morning? Because it's early." Like 3, 4. And they're like, "No, no, no. We slept outside this door at 11 last night. We got here about 11 p.m." And I was like, "So let me get this straight. You guys traveled all the way to New Jersey from wherever it was that you are from. And then you got here and you paid for a hotel room. But instead of sleeping in that bed, you slept here in the hallway on the floor." And they're like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Okay." I am in over my head. I was like, could you
Different
imagine?
breed.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, can you imagine? I mean, good on them. I appreciate it. Like, I respect the hustle. But here's my thing. Can you imagine you go to a hotel, right? You've driven all day, you're tired, and you go to the hotel and they're like, "Hey, we don't have any rooms for you, but you can pay full price for a room. You can sleep in the hallway." You would be incensed. You would leave, probably kick over a map stand on your way out. You'd be so angry. But that's exactly what happened. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "You win, dude.
But
You deserve to be first."
those guys had their eye on some toys. Like they were thinking in their head,
Oh,
we're
man.
gonna get something that we really want. And see, like
Yeah.
for me, I already have everything, so my ass is going to bed. So suck it, people up at 11 in the hallway.
Yeah. So they were literally the first people to get their hands on the Valiant Knight because that was the surprise drop, and they were the first in line. So I mean,
I didn't even
you know
go
what?
to that LegionsCon, and I still got it because there's so many cool people that are willing to help.
Yeah,
out.
there you go. I slept till 6:30 in a comfy
My
bed all
name's
by
Joe
myself.
Gonzalez, and I got so many friends that people just give me Valiant Nights right and left.
Yes, because unlike Curtis, I don't harass people all the time. They
You
actually
threatened to
wanna
bring
do it.
knives. What are you talking about?
I never.
He-
That was other people on my behalf. But I
He
personally
said
never
he was
threatened.
bringing knives.
Yeah, he said
He
was bringing
didn't.
knives.
I
Those
brought
words.
multiple knives in case Joe needed one. Didn't
I
need.
don't need knives. I was afraid to put butter on toast the whole time I was there. I'd go to jail. People talked about it so much.
I know this normally at the start of the show we do pickups, but I gotta show something real quick. Let me share my screen.
It's not more toes, is it?
No, it's definitely not more toes, but look at this custom from Zombie 13, Eric Voorhees. He's got this
nice.
up right now, $185 on the Cabal. So
Totally worth it.
Wow.
dude,
looks
That is
killer.
crazy.
Look at that.
slick.
He's mixed, looks like some of the Spexium parts with the Fisher Rice and some third party parts.
Mhm.
That is just super cool.
That is
And that's
sick.
giving like straight Skexy vibes,
Yeah.
Right?
Dark Crystal.
Very much so.
Who
Yeah.
who was it that
expect it to
made
happen
all of
in
the
the
Fisher Rice team? Was that Matt Stein? Who
Yeah, it
made
was
the
Matt
whole
Stein.
team?
So
Yeah, he needs to buy
yeah.
this.
So
Yeah, it needs to go in with the rest. Yeah.
185 shipped. That is with shipping,
Oh,
folks. So
nice.
so yeah, he just posted it like 3 minutes ago. So if you're interested, you better get on it quick because it's gonna go. But,
Speaking of Fisher Rice, I'm glad you brought that up. I actually just got the War Painters Army War Painters metallic blue azure paint in today. It's something that I had reached out to the Cabal, to the community, and was like, "What is that metallic blue on Fisher Rice?" Because I got a custom head that I want to get and I want to paint. And the Cabal was like, yeah, this is it. It's that azure blue metallic from War Painters. And I finally got it in, and I'm excited to get working on that head this weekend.
Army Painters for anybody looking for it. Army Painters.
Army Painters. That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I knew I was getting it wrong. It's a brand I've never bought from before.
They're getting better. I don't know. I've used a lot of their paints, and you just got to work with them a bit more. You know, they were like a lower end paint for a while, but they're getting there.
Well, the paint was like $4.95 on their website, but shipping was like $5.68. I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't pay more for shipping than the bottle of paint. So yeah, so I went to Amazon, and it was like $7, but it was sold out. So like for weeks, I just keep checking, and finally, like 2 days ago, it was in stock. And I was like,
they're based out of Europe, so when you order from their website, they're shipping from overseas, and that's why they're
That makes a little bit more
sense.
Gotcha. All right, well, we're ready to do some pickups.
Oh wait, we got stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Joe is going first. I think he probably got a Vecna, if I had to guess. Joe, what do you got?
I don't know why you would guess that, but
I know you've been searching for it, so figured you
that is wholly and completely untrue. And,
now's the time to get it because he's going on clearance, so you can get him like stupid cheap.
Except that I don't want it because he's not Vecna.
Remember, folks, you get Vecna, it's like an official channel mascot almost.
Ooh,
I don't care about Vecna, but ATL 25 is cool as.
Oh, I mean, he's pretty cool, but look at that.
Get the off the screen.
I love that guy. I have one of those.
Yep,
Joe,
send them all to Mark.
Yep. This is how I display mine. I was blown away at this figure because I thought for sure I'm just going to leave him as, not Roadblock. But when I put these arms on and the head, like this guy just, oh my goodness. Like I just fell in love with this build. And so, I can't. And now I got to get another one.
Yeah, this won't be the last one that I get for sure. Just I'm very fortunate. Terrence and Gina are super kind and were nice enough to help me out so that I could get them in my collection. But I plan to add several more.
Beauty.
Of course, it's awesome. And then I got my Stavros.
Yes.
Now, did you make a post complaining about it in the Cabal, or?
I didn't. I know that's kind of out of character for me, but there was nothing wrong with him, so I didn't really have anything to complain about.
Well, if you like it, then you must be one of those white knights,
Oh, a shill or something.
Yeah,
you're getting paid.
White
You're
knights.
getting paid to enjoy it.
Totally getting paid.
I mean, who would ever consider liking things that you buy? Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, there's just nothing wrong with him. He is a fantastic figure. I mean, top to bottom. The biggest thing, I think the only thing was that he was like crunched kind of weird, and it was really hard to like straighten out his torso with the soft goods on. But that was like a minor inconvenience and nothing worth posting about because nobody cares. And I wouldn't expect them to. And I just took a little bit of time and undid it on the back and straightened out his torso and worked just fine.
So you could have made a post just bashing them on that, but instead you chose to white knight for the horseman, is what you're saying?
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
How does it feel to be on
I prefer the term Caucasian knight, but yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That works.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate, you guys are getting paid for this?
I mean, Joe and Bill are, clearly.
Apparently. Yeah.
I mean, damn, I've been given praise for free. I need to up my standards.
I really love the paint accents on his face, like just colors and stuff like that. Is so cool.
That blue with those red eyes like that, man, pops.
Yeah,
just everything about him. I like how soft the pauldrons are, so that you can still get a good range of motion with his head and stuff. They don't get in the way. The soft goods look amazing. Like everything about this, the paint apps on the weapons really impressed me. That was something that I really noticed from the photos, and just all around, just a great figure.
Yeah,
I
I
have not
ended up.
shipped mine yet. It's still in my pile of loot, so I just got to get around to shipping it.
See, I had that. I had 2 in my pile of loot, and I've got like 4 items that are set to drop in April. And I was like, I'll just wait till they drop. And then everybody was, well, not everybody. There was a handful of people, bitching in the cabal and talking about sending theirs back and stuff. And I'm like, man, what if they end up sending out all the really good ones to all these people that are bitching? And then by the time I ship my pile of loot, all that's left is the ones that have been returned from other people. So I ended up shipping.
Remember,
mine
it's supposed to be
sure.
distressed.
I'm
So
just
listen, I
saying,
have a
like, I don't, if people start sending their stuff back, who knows what, Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine who just started purchasing
How you doing?
from
Yeah.
Big Bad Toy Store about
Yeah.
3 months ago, and he bought a bunch of stuff and he put it all in his pile of loot. And he's like, "I'm getting all this for $4." He had 68 items in his pile of loot. And they contacted him, and because he saw that there was like multiple shipping charges, and he was like, "What's this?" And they're like, "Man, we're not playing this game with you." Like, are you kidding me? Like, we're not shipping all this for $4. It's $4 a box, and I think it was like 7 boxes worth of stuff. He was
Wow.
so mad, but I'm like, who does that, man? Like, dude, like, get
Yeah.
4 or 5 things, 6 things in your box and send it out, man. Like, get everything. I've never had Big Bad Toy Store send me more than 1 box at a time. Like, how much stuff are you ordering, my guy?
Now, what usually happens is I'll have something in my pile of loot. I'll let it sit for like a week or 2, seeing if anything else drops, and then as soon as I ship it, the next day something will come in, and then I'll send that box, and then the next thing will come in. So I will have back-to-back boxes, but not because of anything other than I just have horrible luck. So
Yeah.
um,
And hey, just today, while we're on Big Bad Toy Store, just today, they added something to each one of the figure prices there's a nice little red note at the bottom of every price now.
oh yeah,
Have you seen it? It says excludes tariff surcharge.
yeah.
So, like, when you pre-order an item, for $48.99, they're letting you know this may not be what you actually pay.
Got to be careful. That it for you, Joe?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, we'll get Oz over here since he's getting ready to bail on us soon. Oz, what do you got for us?
I've got another Curtis package.
Woo!
Now, it's not nearly the same size as Curtis's others package. This one's a little
sometimes
deeper.
it's more impressive than others.
It must have been a little cold out.
Yeah.
You get Curtis's package quite often, Oz.
Yeah,
I really do. People are going to start talking.
it's called shrinkage.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. All I got was an envelope.
All right. Now, I purposely kept it in the box just so I could make that joke because, we all have fun talking about Curtis's package.
Of course.
Especially since the last one was up to like 75 pounds by the time I finally opened
Yeah,
it.
the last one I gave you all my junk.
All your junk. All of it.
Take all of Daddy's
shit.
medicine.
Totally just dropped my coffee. Hold on.
Oh,
So
Pick somebody else. I'll be back.
yeah. All right. We'll go over to Dylan. Dylan, what you got for us?
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
hey, Dylan.
Robo said hi to you the other day.
I saw. Thank you, Curtis. Can't believe
Don't
you spent money
you
on that.
forget about me.
He's like, oh, I remember Dylan.
Hell yeah, you remembered me. I don't remember if I showed this the last time I was on, but I got Maximum Spider-Man.
You showed us in our chat, but not on here. Yeah.
So I got Maximum Spider-Man. He's
And
pretty cool.
Where'd you order from?
CMD store.
Oh, okay.
I paid, I think it was like 62 shipped, which a bit much to pay for a Marvel Legend, but I don't need another Spider-Man now.
Overall thoughts?
So, he's an 8 out of 10, I would say.
Okay.
If like what Pizza Spider-Man was when Pizza Spider-Man came out, if you know Marvel Legends, it was like the best Hasbro Spider-Man.
Okay.
It was like the best Spider-Man figure at the time, and this is kind of what that is now.
Ah, gotcha.
Like, but it's it's Hasbro, so it's going to be kind of cheap for.
So if
what
you
you're
were to
paying.
put a fair price on it that you think it based on the quality, based on everything, what price would you have put on it?
35,
Mm.
I would say.
Okay.
I feel like the Hulk that they just put up for pre-order for 60, I think that's a really good price for that, because that Hulk would be probably $40 on its own, and then it comes with a bunch of accessories, and it's a big figure. I feel like 35 would be good for this, because if a normal figure is 25 now, this came with enough accessories that it could be considered deluxe. So $10 more, but
Yeah.
50 was definitely a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
As far as
there's a
okay.
huge price disparity between, you know, him being 50 and then Hulk being 60. I don't get that at all. And on top of that, the price for the Hulk is all over the place. I pre-ordered him at Best Buy where he's $49.99. But you look at Big Bad Toy Store, he's 59. Hasbro Pulse 59. GameStop, he was 65. Entertainment Earth, he was 75. I mean, what is the deal? Like, are people just making up prices now? Like, I don't understand. Like, if there's a $5 difference here or there, like, I get that between Hasbro Pulse and Big Bad Toy Store, but Entertainment Earth, for there to be a $25 price swing between Best Buy and Entertainment Earth, I don't know what's going on.
I always found Entertainment Earth to be expensive overall compared to other websites.
Sure.
Whether it be from shipping or taxes or their actual
Yeah.
prices. So I don't usually look at them anyway, but that doesn't surprise me for some reason.
We do have Zombie 13 is now in the house. We just showed off his custom. Great job. Yeah, we were just talking about how awesome that is. So
have you sold it yet?
If he hasn't, I guarantee it's going to go quickly because that thing looks awesome. So if you guys haven't already reached out to him to try to get that, I would do it quickly. So
I also got the Marvel Legends Hulkbuster, which this was 60. I got it from Chubsy Wubsy, and I would say this is worth 60. Just how big it is, it's heavy.
It's very shiny.
I would say, yeah, it's not metallic, but it's very shiny, and I wouldn't say it's glossy either. It's just like plastic, metallic.
Is that an older figure or is that a Build-A-Figure?
No, this one just came out like right at the end of last year. It's
okay.
in their deluxe figure range, but it's, it could have been a Build-A-Figure probably, but it's solid.
Impressive.
It's pretty heavy.
I mean, it's not bad construction. I just wish that on some stuff like that they would put some paint apps on it and not just have it molded in plastic. Like it just makes it look a little cheap.
Yeah, they have a feature on it that you could take the armor off the torso, but it's completely unpainted under there.
Oh, gotcha. But it looks like the details are there for the sculpt.
Yeah, it's fully sculpted and everything, but it's and even on the inside of it. But
yeah, see that I hate that when they spend all that money to sculpt it nicely, but then they just don't paint it. So
that's what I call like a Mattel special. They put all this beautiful sculpted detail into a toy, and they paint like 2% of it.
Yeah. But this is my first Hulkbuster. I had the 3 3/4 inch one from the Iron Man 2 figures when they were all trying to be G.I. Joe. But this is my first actual 6-inch scale one. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
And it's big. Like I have my new favorite figure, this Hulk that I've been talking about for
oh my gosh. Is that that custom based off the Warhammer orc?
Yes.
Oh my God. I want to build one of those so bad.
Yeah.
It's
so worth it. You should definitely grab it now while it's available on Amazon.
If I knew I could buy it and it was already all together and I didn't have to do the extra work to track down all the other stuff, I would probably do that.
Well, so
yeah, I mean, because you have to factor all that into the price. I mean, you're paying what, $70 for that orc, $75, and then You got to get custom pants, a torn
Yeah.
shirt, custom head.
So
Is it
there's
painted
a-
head? Is it unpainted?
I bought the orc and the clothes from Besley Studio, and I think they still have them open to pre-order.
No, between the two systems.
But they're basically saying it's going to get harder to get the body.
Yeah.
So you should order it now if you want it, but you could get the.
But then you still have to get
clothes.
the head separately, right?
So they sell the head painted, but it's taking a while. I ordered it in like February, and I still haven't got my second one.
Ah.
And he's doing it in batches.
Where did that
but
head come from?
I painted this one.
Oh, okay.
So I had to track down the face-off Hulk, old Marvel Legend, and I had to take the head and paint it to match. But there's the company 6-inch Plus is doing a kit that it's the torso and the arms, and it's just bigger to make it a little bit more bulky because this orc body is really skinny compared to what like most people think of as the Hulk.
It still looks a lot better than that Hasbro piece of shit. So
yes, it does. I still pre-ordered it, but yeah this does.
But I mean, it's also a lot more expensive. But
yeah,
how much did you get the orc for? If you don't mind me asking.
I think it was 80 when I got it.
Oh wow!
That
Yeah,
was
I just
with
looked.
it. That was
It's up
with
to
the
like
clothes.
110.
Yeah, it went up, and I think it's on Amazon for like 130.
Yeah, there's two versions. There's one that's
Yeah.
110 and one that's 130, depending on like if you get an armored version or yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, try to source it from some other place than Amazon. See
Mhm.
if I can get it a little cheaper. I don't know.
There's also
I
the
see a
other
lot of
orc.
people doing it. It looks incredible.
Yeah. There's another orc also that's made by Mithril Action that it's a lot bulkier and it has the more like Storm Collectibles kind of torso, like the new Hasbro Hulk. And it's a lot bigger. It's about the same height, but it's a lot bulkier. And those ones, I feel like they're a little bit easier to come by on eBay. And secondhand.
Real quick, we got Jesse out here throwing out some questions, and my question to him is, where the fuck are you? Because it's not D&D week, so get your ass in here and you can ask whatever questions you want. How about that? How about
Jesse,
them
to answer your question, this is my like original comic version, like before he was ginormous. This is sort of the like comic version of the TV show. In my eyes,
I'm actually kind of okay with how he's
Me
a little
too.
more svelte,
Yeah.
like a little slimmer than because I kind of feel like that makes him be able to pose a lot better. And it's like,
It does.
that's one of the things that we don't
This guy's
have is like a
crazy.
really posable Hulk.
Yeah. This
He
is
can
like
get some pretty cool comic poses. I want a figure that can get into some of those comic poses. Like that's probably why I don't buy a lot of Hulk figures is because
Did you
like this is Spider-Man posing on a Hulk figure.
That's insane.
Like,
did you end up doing your picture with the D Blake make sign?
Yeah, I did. I posted it on Instagram.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I saw it, Curtis.
Oh,
Some friend you are.
Congratulations.
But yeah, as you could have seen, it's really small compared to the Hulkbuster. So I'm kind of hoping that the maximum Hulk is sizes up better.
Do you really want me to join?
Yeah, Jesse, come on.
What the hell kind of crap is that, Jesse? Yes.
I know, right?
Yeah, we need somebody to cover for us.
Well, we got trouble joining for that, but we always take Jesse. All right. Anything else, Dylan?
Yeah, I also got the Mezco Alistair Gangrene from the Gangrene Estates Rumble Society subline.
Photo of that.
I love these guys. These are like horror Scooby-Doo characters almost. These guys are a lot of fun.
They're dope.
Yeah. I put the Marvel Legends Gambit, like Toy Biz Marvel Legends Gambit trench coat on them. So I think it makes them look a lot cooler.
Nice.
The furry piece came with the figure, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that with the hood.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, it's really cool. It's basically, it looks like it reuses a lot of like Conan parts. Like the boots are like pirate boots. Like it basically could fit in with Mythic Legions, basically.
Mhm.
So I really like it.
Yeah, I like the soft goods a lot.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. The other thing is I got this I don't remember the company, but this Demon Santa from 5K
I don't even know
Toys.
what
It was
I'm
on
looking
sale.
at. That's
Um,
creepy.
Yeah, it's I think it's called like the Demon Brothers. This one is Kryn, and the other one is Kraden. This one is like a bear trap for a hand, and the other one has like a Freddy Krueger glove with like jointed fingers. I want to track that one down, but I can't find it anywhere for cheap.
Here's that picture that I was talking about that I saw on Instagram.
Yeah,
like, dude, that's fucking killer. So,
Right?
Yeah, it's creepy as all get out, though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I didn't realize this one, the coat is like pink. I thought it was going to be red, so I might repaint this.
Okay, I thought it was your camera. I was like, when you said Santa, I was like, the dude looks more like a bizarre, like Easter bunny.
No, that's what I
know?
said. I was like, because it's actually really cool. You could take the arms off, and the jacket on the arms is like a rubber overlay, and it can come off, and then it can have no jacket on.
So you're saying you jack it off?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Yeah.
Jacket off Santa.
That was impressive.
How frequently?
2 to 3 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poor
you
jacket.
youngsters.
Just make sure you hydrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this guy's really cool. It's like McFarlane back in the day had their like twisted Christmas line, and their Santa Claus had like Freddy Krueger claws and like a gas mask or something.
Yep.
And these guys are like that mixed with like the clown guy from Krampus.
Who did you say was the toy company who makes
I
these?
think it's Fury Toys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which is now Rage Toys, I think. They make the turtles. The spring.
Dude, I can't keep track. These
Yeah.
Japanese companies have 2 and 3 names. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
D-Dog, we are not giving any foot topics until Greg arrives. So Schmerber is required before we get into any foot conversation. But real quick, before I know Oz got to go soon, let's get him back on screen now that he's not dumping things all over the floor. So
I also got my Stavros. That's the last thing.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. I mean, not that this figure is anything new, right? But I had wanted a second one, and I definitely still wanted those con exclusive parts. So thank you, Curtis.
Woo-hoo.
Got that Headhunter from ZoloCon with the exclusive parts. Cannot wait.
That's actually from Guaisagüe Echevarria.
That's right. That's right. Because it was him that put it up for.
He gave it to me to do a giveaway on. So yeah.
So I got lucky, and I really appreciate it because I definitely needed another one. I'm going to make my Scare Glow tribute figure because again, he is not a tribute figure. Still, I mean, he is, but he isn't. He's a tribute to the Zolo World toy, the Warrior Beasts, not Scare Glow. But
yeah, Scare Glow is like that's slow pitch softball. Come on, guys.
Right. So I'm
give us
definitely going to be doing a Scare Glow custom of this. I've already got somebody working up some good purple soft goods, and gonna have to. I know he's normally got a Halberd with the Masters of the Universe toys, but I'm definitely picking up another Maxilius to get that sweet sight that he deserves.
Oh, nice. Speaking of awesome characters, Jesse's it.
Hey, Jesse.
I think he's still in shock after Sunday.
It might be. Yeah.
It's got to be what it is.
That.
So, with me having to roll out here, I do want to say Sunday was probably one of the most all day Sunday, Saturday through Sunday was one of the most awesome experiences of my life. And
I think you mean awesome.
Oh, it's definitely awesome. And I will hard pronounce that. Awesome. It was an incredible adventure, start to finish. Glad I could definitely do the majority of the 24 hours. Curtis, you're a trooper, man, because you went way longer than even I did. And Joe, it was great to spend most of the day with you on that. Mark, it was a pleasure to have spent time with you. And Jesse, it's always a pleasure to be hanging out with you, buddy. And could not have asked for like a better finish to the campaign than what happened. That was completely unexpected, totally magical, and the community is, without a doubt, the most amazing.
Absolutely.
The finish is all you need to worry about.
It's true. Whenever anybody asks, like, how did that 24-hour thing go? I was like, it don't matter. The 24 hours previous really don't mean a damn thing. Just go watch the last leg of the freaking thing. It was the most awesome thing ever.
That was definitely the best. However,
in the business, it's called the money shot.
Oh, yeah. I think in the wrestling business, it's called the finish. But I think the OffWorld segment with the dragon brackets was
a lot of fun.
Dooch did
that was a lot of fun.
Dooch did a great job.
Enjoyed a lot.
I didn't expect much out of Dooch.
I thought you called him Gooch.
Yeah, I didn't expect much out of Dooch. And when he didn't show up in the first 30 minutes, I didn't expect anything out of Dooch.
Right.
And then when he showed up, he killed it. That bracket was a lot of fun.
It really was.
And
especially during that timepiece, too.
Like 4 in the morning when you're trying to just fill space and you're like, it was actually a lot of fun and people were, interested to watch. So
yeah, and Joe Vasapolo jumping in too and starting that thing with the Puff the Magic Dragon that I absolutely hated.
Yeah. And
that was a lot of fun.
Legion
boys,
the Latin boys were awesome. So
yep. Yeah, no, that was
without a doubt.
Killer, so.
Just remember, folks, if you want to get Curtis to finish strong, make sure you have some brackets.
Once I was fading during Legions, but I just needed to get to 5-hour energy drink mark. And once I hit that 5-hour mark, it was like, I'm good to go. So that was a lot of fun though. But yeah, Oz, thank you for the kicking off that first leg after PGG, and then just joining us for most of it. So, Joe says I kind of want to apologize for Puff, but nah,
no, you don't. We puffed, we passed. It was fun.
He didn't make it to the end, but he made it pretty far. He did.
He made it a lot.
Yeah,
with his vertical nipples and everything, that ended up being a lot of fun.
his saggy boobs with vertical nipples. It was
Puff made it a lot farther than Toothless. I can tell you that. So
I think that's the biggest shame.
Problem.
That was the biggest shame of the whole thing, too.
You kind of had to be there, Jesse. It was strange. Yeah,
that's true.
It was strange.
Toothless got a very unfair matchup to start the whole day.
Who was he? Was he against
Ghidorah to start?
Right.
Like the very first matchup is Ghidorah versus Toothless, and it's like, are you kidding? That is redonkulous.
Bye-bye.
So sadly,
yeah, Toothless totally would have wiped Ghidorah's ass.
Did you say wiped his ass?
I mean, I think that's what Ghidorah did. I think that's what Ghidorah did with him.
So
with one of Ghidorah's 3 heads.
I haven't had the chance to go back and rewatch it yet. So which version of Ghidorah did you have in the bracket?
He just pulled whatever picture came up.
Dude
first
said
when
the first he Googled each dragon, and the first picture that popped up, that was the one that he took.
Yeah.
So
It
we
was
were
like
all over the
Toho
place.
era
Oh,
Ghidorah.
so it was the rubber suit. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was gonna
It
say,
wasn't
if it was
like
the one from
cool
King of the
legendary
Monsters,
version.
if it was the legendary version, he could probably get pretty far.
No.
Jesse's like, I don't need to take this negativity.
Come on
Well,
the
it
show;
was-
it'll be fun.
I'm a big fan of Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dooch picked a picture that made him look like a cartoon character, like a
Oh,
freaking
He's
Come
a
on,
cartoon
dude.
character.
like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. He
that's
looks
a
cool on the
specific.
card,
That's a separate card, though.
but he totally got wiped out in the first round, and I was
Of course.
disappointed. It
I
happened.
thought the same thing with Granomir. Like he could have used Revolution Granomir. He used Filmation like while he's just sitting there. Like, like
Yeah,
of course nobody's gonna pick him.
Yeah.
So
I did.
anyway.
I think that's the coolest Granomir in my opinion, but
Yeah. All right.
it was
All right.
fun. It was fun.
Well, thank you, Oz. We appreciate it. We know you got to run to another show that you made a commitment to before you were locked into us, before we were going steady, as it were. So
Before we were going steady.
yeah. So
Yeah.
but you have a good one. Yeah.
I certainly will, guys. Make sure you hit that like button because it's awesome here on Let's Go Offworld. You can't get a seriously. What else could you be doing that would be better than this on a Friday night? I'll
Literally
wait.
nothing.
I'll wait. Exactly. So I will see you guys later.
Yeah,
All right,
Tanya,
later,
that
Oz.
is see Oz. That is correct. Like Kevin was making me laugh during the art by Ackerman with all the different stuff, especially the Joe Gonzalez dragon. All right, Mark, we're going to you next. You got any pickups to show off?
Yeah, sure. I got some small stuff around my desk. I guess maybe the biggest thing was I picked this up on the way to Toylanta. I had to set a timer so I would remember to pull over on the side of the road and order this guy. So this is the I like to call him Fancy Pants Feilong. He has the purple. He has the purple pants. It's the player 2 version of Feilong. But the really cool thing about this version of Feilong, he comes with the screaming head, that head. He should have come with that in the original, but I did pick him up, and I wanted to show off that I also got this little set right here. And this is from a company called Wormhole Studios. I've never heard of them before. This set was like $11 on 5K Toys. I don't know, it's like $4 shipping, so $15, and it is a Kung Fu soft goods set made specifically for Feilong.
Oh, nice.
So I do have this on my my purple pants, and it comes with this little white T-shirt that's soft goods, the baggy pants, and then of course the Kung Fu style little coat.
Wait a minute. How
It
much
doesn't.
was that?
This set was I think it's $11.99 for
That
the
is
shirt, the pants.
crazy cheap.
Yeah, and then I think it was $4 shipping. I want to say my grand total was $15 or $16 from 5K Toys, and I think it's still available. But it's for Feilong. There's no wire in the jacket or anything like that, but it will stay closed if you just kind of fold it over on itself. There's no magnets or anything, but it will kind of stay closed a little bit. You can also let me see if I can get the jacket off just while we're sitting here talking.
That is really impressive for that price.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of Wormhole Studios, but that's the company who makes it. They call it the Kung Fu.
Isn't that what Gina and Terrence were taking phone calls about all weekend?
I think that was Bayathir.
So here he is with the jacket off and the shirt and pants, and it doesn't really restrict his movement. You can still get him in
with
really
that
just
head
brings
and that outfit, you need to get him a beer to drink.
Yeah.
He
This
totally
is the
looks
new
like
head from the
front porch Feilong.
Front Porch Feilong. That's right. That's it. I love that. I love that name. But yeah, so that's two of my little pickups there. And then if you guys have ever seen, you've probably seen this little set from a company called Kai Lab.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen this for the Mesco. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have caught, but I go ahead. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually.
actually, I have that. I have this set on a Valiant Knight, and it is amazing. So I went ahead and picked up their next set. If you have seen this one from Kai
Oh, yep.
Lab,
Yep.
and this is pretty impressive. And I too have him on a skeleton. And
Nice.
so you get lots of stuff here. You get a light tan tunic. You get these torn breeches underneath. You get like the soft chainmail, this little undercoat that comes out for the sleeves. You get this nice like blue tunic that wraps around. You do get the belts. You get all the little belts here. It doesn't come with the sword and scabbard. I just sourced that, and it does come with this nice little mail hood, chainmail hood, which looks really cool. And like they make some killer stuff, and it's really good. Like Siege some level stuff. Like I
That's
could
cool.
definitely see the Four Horsemen like bringing them on because it seems like all the stuff they make it specifically for Four Horsemen. So
Mhm.
I mean for mythics. So that's really cool. And then I did finally pick one other thing up that I don't even really know. You guys can tell me if you've ever done this before. Have you ever like bought a figure just because it looks cool? Like you
Oh,
have
yeah.
no like connection whatsoever. Yeah.
1000%.
I
Yeah.
don't know this guy. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Dylan's got it. You know, I do not know who this is. I was not reading Spider-Man in the 90s when this storyline took place with Ben Riley and Kane. And I must have seen this guy hanging in my targets for months and just was like, I don't want him. Like, I don't even know that guy. But the longer I've looked at it, like, the more I'm like, I think I want to get that guy and put a custom cape on him, like a wired cape, and get this plastic junk off of him. So I went ahead and ordered one from Amazon while they still had them.
Let's get Fisher
Just
Rice
a few
colors.
little.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so 90s, man. Look at that bright blue and the bright pink and that crazy hair. Like,
Mhm.
I've since watched some videos on who is Marvel's Kane, and apparently he is an imperfect clone of Peter Parker, Ben Riley being a perfect clone of Peter Parker. He's got
Hmm.
some extra powers that Spider-Man doesn't have. Oh well, it's a 90s villain. I don't know. He just looks cool.
He
I just
he
wanted to have fun
looks
Probably
like
playing
in
around.
Spider Verse.
a '90s
Yeah,
character, so
for
there's some
sure.
nice
Absolutely.
nostalgia there for sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Jesse, I believe that brings us up to you. Got any toys?
No. I mean, I did, but it was the wrong thing.
It was
Makes
the
sense.
wrong thing. Oh, like they delivered the wrong thing to you?
No, I ordered the wrong thing. We were looking at
Ah.
that Fog Toys, that like the mechanic girl with it, like that chicken walker tech
Oh, that's right. That's right.
machine.
Yeah.
And I ordered it, and I just ordered the machine. I didn't order it with the figure, so I'm potentially selling that one off and getting the correct one.
Gotcha. All right.
I
Well,
mean,
then.
I kind of showed these on something last week, but I did get my Funko
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Jinx and Vi.
That's pretty cool.
I was wondering who was keeping them in business. Now I know.
No, I don't keep them in business anymore. I used to.
All right.
No,
Well,
those are
then,
actually really dope. I love that show. Did you buy them because you like Funko Pops, or did you buy them because you just like those characters?
I do like Funko Pops. I don't collect them like I used to. I've cut my collection way down, but I really like those two characters. So
Yeah.
I figured these would be a good stand-in until the Hot Toys come in next year.
Oh my gosh, those look so good. Like Figma, I noticed is making they're making I forgot his name, the wizard guy, the guy that goes all cosmic
Victor.
in the last Victor. Yeah, like they're making him, but they're making him in like his celestial form, with like that
Okay.
extra arm that's like over his back or whatever that's got a little appendage on it. Like they're making him in this very weird form. And it was weird for me that they chose to make him first. But yeah, I really hope they make more because I need like a 1/12 scale line of arcane figures like from that show. Like I
Yeah.
need that like yesterday. For real.
What are you laughing at, Curtis? The fact that I said the Funkos would be a good stand-in for Hot Toys?
I don't think anybody's ever said that sentence ever.
I just meant there's no other figures of them I want to get until the Hot Toys come out. Like,
Benny says, so you have the exclusive bike, Jesse, that looks like a walker. If you need the girl and the walker, I can text you where I got mine from. So
I did get one. I mean, okay. I ordered it. It's going to take a while to get here because it's coming from AliExpress.
You know, the old Hot Toy stand-in Funko Pops. You know,
stand-in like substitute on my shelf until the real stuff shows up.
I've got a Hot Toy Batman, Robin, and Batgirl, but I wanted an Alfred, so I got a Funko Pop and just slid him in there. Nobody's ever noticed the difference. Sorry, that was funny. All right, my turn. All right, so first off, I got the new Charbot stuff from Brian Lynn. So new upgrade. This got the exclusive part from LegionsCon. It's got a little jackhammer over here, new topper. He's got this thing here that's like an ammo clip with the actual Cosmic Legion pistols will fit in here that you can like put on top of the Charbot. Nice. He's got this gun arm, which is really cool. Some missiles for the top. So let's see what else. Got another little antennae guy that goes for a topper. He's got a couple different shoulder pads. So there's a smooth round one, got a spiky one. And then if you want to give him a mohawk, it's got like a spiky mohawk. So you can do like a Johnny Five Short Circuit 2 kind of thing. And then at LegionsCon, I picked up this little spider guy thing, and I just kind of plugged in a couple of the Charbot arms on here because it's got little ports on it. So, nice. Really cool. That was the all-in set, not the spider part that was separate from LegionsCon, but the rest of it was all in from Wave 2 of the Charbot. So a lot of fun stuff. If you're interested, I don't know if Brian still has them, but reach out to Carver Customs on Instagram or Brian Lynn on Facebook, and he'll get you taken care of. Last week during the Dragon telethon, I opened up this guy. I did switch out the fur loin, but other than that, I was not really looking forward to this guy because I thought with Arakagor and Kragnar and all the others, this one just didn't interest me as much, but he's really cool. I really like the paint job. I dig the armor. Yeah, he's a lot cooler in hand than I thought he would be. So, So got that. I did open up another Armies of Ashmore character. This is the Milwick. So pretty cool. I'm going to try to keep slow roll, maybe like one a week, open up one of the Defenders of Eden. But these characters are just really awesome. They're chunky boys. Lots of fun. And last but not least, this isn't a new figure, but sometimes, you just you look at your collection and something catches your eye and you're like, man, I forgot how awesome this figure is. And so I wanted to show one of those off tonight. And it is Firestorm. I made a post on the Dork Lair collector group, but man, I just love this figure. This character is so good. He was my favorite in the Superpowers line as a kid, and they just did a great job. McFarlane knocked this out of the park. So this is the only thing I don't like about it is there's two versions of it, and you'll end up finding the other version in a lot of places, but this is the cool version. So. Yeah,
is that the platinum? Did they make that one?
No, I think this one was the regular. It was Hawkman that the platinum was the one that was kind of the superpowered colors. So this one is a little bit, or at least it was initially easier to find. Now you find the platinum version everywhere, but this is the much cooler one in my opinion. So, but yeah, so that is, I think that's it. So, all righty. Next, we didn't have a Dooch agenda. We don't have the thumbnail just had a bunch of people were putting stuff in our chat. I think Jesse put something in there with like some lady with beans in her hair or something. So there's not like a primary objective. Unless Jesse, you wanted to go into.
Hold on, you just can't just randomly say Jesse put a picture of a girl with beans in her hair. It was a meme.
It's true, right?
I mean, it's true, but that's like there was a newspaper a friend was telling me about, or a headline a couple months ago, where it's like local clown arrested for soliciting sex, and it's like that's a messed up headline. And then I asked him questions about it, and it wasn't a clown that was necessarily soliciting the sex. It was a guy who does work as a clown, but he was doing like
he wasn't doing it in costume.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out like what's a real clown and then a dude who's dressed as a clown. Like I'm still trying to figure that one out.
So
apparently he did like kid shows as a clown and like was moonlighting as a sex worker, not simultaneously at the kid show. Like it's messed up no matter which way you look at it, but like it wasn't that messed up.
Joe says
I
accidentally
actually
flung
also
my
was laughing
firestorm. Yeah, into a stove flame with a fork catapult from the kitchen table. It was impressive until it really caught fire. What?
I was laughing a minute ago because Curtis put this up and then immediately took it down, but it was up long enough for me to read it. And then I was like, why did we? Oh, that was you. I was like, why did that get pulled down so quick? We're not going to talk about that? Like, that was dumb.
Yeah.
That's a
I
headline.
think that if somebody their job is a clown, they're always a clown. They may not wear the makeup, but they're still a clown, you know?
But that's like saying like the Phillies mascot
even when
was
you're killing people
for...
and hiding them in your basement.
If I read a headline and it said like basketball player arrested for soliciting sex, I don't expect that means that he was in the middle of a game, right? I don't think that it was on the court.
That's immediately where my brain would go. I would picture him at the Christmas or at the birthday party, like honk honk.
I believe the headline would be,
"You want to see what else?"
Basketball player doesn't solicit sex. Like I feel like that's more of a headline.
Yeah,
I don't even think I would click on that story. If it's basketball player solicits sex, I'd be like, of course.
Coworker was telling me about it. I don't like clowns enough, but I was just like, I just needed to process, because like sometimes my very literal ADHD mind is like, I need to know, like, was he in costume as a clown soliciting sex? Like,
because when you're trying to picture it later, you want to know.
No.
Gotcha.
It's just like the headline's painting an inaccurate yet correct, like an inaccurate but true headline. And so yes, okay. Jesse did put a picture of a girl with beans in her hair in the chat, but I also did like several other memes because I used to be quite the memer back in the day, and I was just feeling kind of memey today.
Little memey. You were, I think you were a lot memey. You were posting a lot. You were.
That was nothing. I used to be able to have like an entire
mental space.
I used to be able to have an entire conversation with people without ever sending anything other than memes.
All right. So without a primary objective, now we do have one set up for the 25th of April. I wanted to
talk about that.
Why aren't we going to talk about that?
Why would we talk about what the next?
Because I want them to be ready the same. Because okay,
so okay, no, all right, no, that makes sense.
So 2 weeks from now, we're going to be ranking the live action Batman movies. I wanted to do it tonight. The reason why I couldn't do it tonight is because Dooch said, well, there's some of them I haven't seen yet, as if Dooch was going to show up. So he said, I need time to watch the ones I haven't watched. So I'm letting everybody else out there know, if you haven't watched, there's 10 live action Batman movies, starting with Adam West, going all the way through the Pattinson Batman. We are going to rank them from worst to first. If you need to go watch some of them, you got 2 weeks. So there you go. I think I'm going to go into this week in theaters unless you guys got anything else to hit up. You got any other topics?
It's just a real quick thing. I could send a picture, but I don't think it's worth sending a picture. I was at work this evening, and my coworker, he leaves earlier than I do just because he comes in earlier. He had to make a run over to Hershey. It's like a 45-minute drive away. Anyway, he said afterwards he stopped by an antique mall, and he's like, "You're never going to believe what I found." And I was like, "Chlamydia?" He's like, "No, even worse." And he sends a picture of my limited 200 print run self-published comic book bagged and boarded in like a stack of comics.
Wow.
Interesting.
Which,
that's cool.
I mean, it's Hershey. It's not far. Like, I probably hand sold the person, that comic at the store, or maybe they did the Kickstarter. I don't know. But there's only like 250 copies at most of that book. And I was like, how much did they ask for? He was like $1. And he's like, haha, I would have paid $5. And I was like, wow, you paid $4 too much. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny that, I mean,
that's cool though.
That's cool. What would be better is if it was graded. It's a 9.8.
It would devalue the grading to get that comic graded.
Next, coming to the stage, co-host of the best show on YouTube on Saturday mornings, Double Jointed, and also host of his own show, New to Mythics and New to Mythics Live, because you can never get enough Schmerber. We got Greg Schmerber in the house. What's going on, sir?
There he is.
Hey.
How are
you
you?
doing?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Have we talked about Curtis's new hairstyle yet? And how just
nobody's really said anything. No.
Ridiculously handsome, and just, I'm speechless.
So here's the thing. For about a year and a half or more, I grew it out, doing the whole long hair thing, tying it back. And then I was like, you know what? I do want the long hair back here, but I don't want it long up here. And so I went, had it cut. Last week, you guys may have saw it. I was wearing a hat for a lot of the telethon, but I had it short up here, but then it still was long in the back. But it's from the top, right? Because I was getting it shaved all the way around.
You had a mullet.
And it was like, yeah, this isn't really working. So she ended up cutting it down, but we're letting it grow. It's going to be a mullet, okay? But I got to let the back of it grow into its own healthy mullet stage. So this is Charizard Curtis. This is Charmander Curtis, right? I haven't gone to my final evolution.
Okay.
So
I get that reference.
Yeah.
I actually.
Are we also not going to talk about how we're?
Well, I have a condition where I can't
Joe.
see hair, so yeah.
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if this is showing up for everybody else, but the way this group is here on my screen is that I'm on top of Greg.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm the top and he's the bottom. I don't know.
That's kind of how I always envision it. Yeah.
Only on Fridays.
Who wears
Fred
the clown
and
outfit?
then Barney.
Yeah. So, I wanted to bring you guys on. Two reasons. Number one, we knew Oz was leaving tonight, and you can't just fill Oz's shoes with anybody. You have to bring on somebody special. And I thought, who are the most special people on YouTube? Immediately thought of you guys. But also, last week, I may have launched a campaign against people having their toes out at cons. Okay. There's a lot of things. I rant sometimes on Friday nights. I was ranting about.
He may have.
Yeah. I was ranting about a few things.
Sometimes.
I think that may have been one of them that I ranted about, Greg having his toes out at MesquiCon, Mark having his toes out at Toylanta, and just how disappointed that I was. And, it got into this whole thing with people talking about, being from California, and some of the ladies saying that they have their toes painted so that they look nice and they should be able to show them. And some people saying that, it's too hot sometimes. And I did get some people that backed me up. I had, Cookie was definitely backing me up.
You hurt me.
I had
hurt me, man.
I had Joe Vasapolo backing me up. there's a few people that were like, hey, keep those toes covered at cons and stuff.
You mean toe Vasapolo?
Yes. Yeah. Since then, though, since last week, I have been inundated with so many disgusting feet pictures that at this point, I have no choice but to just wave the white flag and say, I give up.
That looks like me getting in the shower.
You guys can do whatever you want.
That's me trying to get into my car.
You can have your toes however you see fit. I am stopping my crusade against toes because I can't take it anymore. I can't take the pictures.
Please, guys, if you care about Curtis, stop sending him pictures of feet.
Yeah, and I will say,
everyone for appropriately punishing Curtis.
Yeah, and I will say for anybody out there, because I have like whatever the opposite is of a fetish, like I'm an anti-foot fetish guy.
Phobia.
But here's what I wouldn't say phobia, but I'm not scared of it, but it is gross. But I will say, for anybody out there that really does like feet, I'm going to tell you right now, the best strategy is to come on YouTube and complain about people's feet, because you will get so many feet pics. I mean, it's not even, you don't even have to ask for them. You don't have to pay nothing. Like they just start coming towards you. So if there's anybody out there that really is into that, just get on the show and just say, hey, I really hate this.
Remember, most people that are into feet don't want gross feet. There's still a line.
Let's challenge this and say, I really hate boobies.
Yeah, right?
Yes. The bigger, the better. Oh, they're gross.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jesse.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Jesse. Come back,
Jesse's
Jesse.
in disagreement with you on there. He's like, you don't talk bad about that.
He's going to get you pictures.
Yeah, I hate those.
Greg is going to get pictures
ones.
of so many men's chests now because he said that.
Yeah, please don't send me any to my phone number, which is 850. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I knew that some people weren't going to be happy with me calling a truce. Joe's out. Cookie says the beach, the pool, bedroom, only time I should see feet. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to let you down. I knew that I was your champion in this battle. But I just, I can't take it. I'm tapping out. So,
well,
Greg,
now
Mark,
you
win.
I think it's time to. Okay, Greg, I think it's time that we come clean here, and then just tell our millions of toe-fluencers. Okay, guys, we can back down. The campaign worked.
We won.
Let
guys.
Curtis off the hook. Yeah, we won.
I appreciate you guys being
we can get back to
graceful in
sharing
victory.
butt cracks.
Yeah. No toe tariffs.
That's where the fun is.
No toe tariffs here.
Tariffs.
Mark's kids in the background going, what?
Which, by the way, I'd like to point out, this is how he went dressed to school today, in this blue hoodie and this red skull cap, looking exactly like Steve Zissou in The Life Aquatic back here. And he wants to make fun of me. So he's like, who is that? And I'm like, that's Bill Murray. He's a legend.
Greg, Mark, anything else that you wanna say on your victory? I'll let you have the floor.
No, man, I'm sorry you got inundated with so many feet pics. That's terrible. I hate that for you. I only sent one GIF, and it was one GIF, and it was of an animated, like a cartoon foot. Like I was like, I'm not going to send these pics.
So
Greg?
Curtis, wait, hold on. I'm going to jump in.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to say, the reason that I'm happy that this happened to Curtis is because I don't want any gosh darn Motu Vecnas.
I do.
And people send them to Dylan. I
Yeah.
don't want any. I never wanted
Give me the
any.
Vecnas.
It's not Vecna.
So I can give
And
him
Curtis
to Joe.
started this so much so that people are contacting me offering to send me Vecnas that I don't want. So
Are they really?
All right. So here's what Joe's saying. Okay. Joe is saying that he really does want the Vecnas, and that's why he's telling you that he doesn't want Vecnas, because he's trying to use the strategy that failed for me with feet, and he's trying to flip it around. So he's telling you he does not want Vecnas. Wink, wink.
Wink,
So
wink.
please don't give him Vecnas. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Send Curtis so many more feet pictures right freaking now, everyone. I know I got friends in this chat. Hook me up. Just destroy Curtis with the ugliest feet you can.
Anybody with his
Don't turn
email.
your phone off. Don't turn your phone off. Get him.
Sign him up to only
So
feet
the best one, the best
annual
thing with
subscription.
the best foot thing was in the Legend Daddies group that was started by Dooch and Sean Scavarna. They did it when they had their started Legends of Grayskull and stuff. That it became this like Facebook page for OffWorld and Shooting the Shelf and everything else. But it's basically Dooch's group, right? Dooch and Sean's group. Dooch posted this feet pic that was gross and tagged me in it. And not only did I remove it from the page, but I gave him a 90-day warning on his own page. So if he does it again, I'm going to boot him from his own page. So I'm not sure if he's seen it yet because he hasn't said anything. But yes, I gave him a 90-day warning. So
Too funny.
Greg,
you doing all right, buddy? You're looking kind of tired, my guy.
It's been a long week, dude. I'm just happy it's over. Ready for the weekend. But I'm good.
Oh, come on.
Get you some rest, man. Get you some rest. We got to rock it in the morning.
You just scored points with me, Blake. Thank you.
Sometimes I get stuff during the show that it's like, stuff to pull up, like pictures and pop and swaps and stuff.
That's
Blake's
punishment.
Yeah. Damn you, Blake. You were already on my shit list for leaving me at the Navy Pier all cold and waiting for a hug. So, I wonder, okay, Alan, remember when we had Alan on, Jesse, and he was talking about like the top 100 like fears and stuff. I wonder where toes land on there. That's got to be on that list, right? That's got to be a top 100, like seeing people's feet or something.
I don't even know if there's a name for that.
I mean, I thought you said it wasn't a fear.
Well, whatever, an ickiness.
You want to know what it's called?
Sure.
Podophobia. Podophobia. It's a real thing. It's a fear of feet.
Yeah, because Alan was doing this thing where he was leading a class, like telling people how you could exploit people's fears to, build these haunted attractions to really magnify it and stuff and make it terrible. Can you imagine like walking into one that's trying to do that? Yeah. It's podophobia. So where does that land on the list? Is that on the top 100, Alan? And what would you do to maximize that in a haunted setting? So
I'm thinking anybody that has that has to have moved to like Alaska or somewhere where you're just not going to go barefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's a sub fear. There's a subphobia called onoxophobia, which is the fear of fingernails or toenails. So there's a little deep dive for you.
Well, apparently podophobia is number 151. So
yeah, it says it can go undiagnosed for years. All I can hear is like Sarah McLachlan, like Tears of an Angel, or The Arms of an Angel. I can hear that playing.
Over feet pics at toy conventions.
Exactly. They're just sad puppies and then feet. It's like, do you suffer from podophobia?
So, Alan, let us know in the comments if you've ever done a haunted attraction that tried to capitalize on that fear. So, we'd love to hear it. And in the meantime, it is
just
time.
Thought you'd all like to see a picture of young Curtis.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's not me.
Look at that hair.
No,
talking about 90s.
Was Curtis on what was that? Sequest or whatever? The kid,
silicone foot mold.
Like the kid from Sequest.
Yeah.
That's Leonardo DiCaprio from Critters 3.
He was in Critters 3?
That's what the internet is telling me right now.
Wow.
Did not know that.
Is that pre or post Gilbert Grape?
It's his film debut in 91.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say thank you, Gilbert. Say thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Gilbert.
All right. Now is the time for what we call This Week in Theaters. This is where
before we do that, I have what's that one where we talk about new stuff that just came out?
Oh yeah. I forgot we haven't done that in a while because Jesse's been missing.
Yeah,
Event Horizon.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I actually have something.
Yeah.
Because I hurt my back picking up a dresser on Tuesday. So
I'm sorry, Joe.
No, it's all good. I just ended up
legs.
It's an interesting story because we're in Walmart and my girlfriend was buying this huge, like, nice dresser, but it's one of those ones you have to assemble, so it's in this giant box. And I was like, hold the cart and I'll pick up the box, and because I hate waiting for them to bring people to help and stuff, and I was just like, hold the cart.
Picture of two people on the side of that box. It says 2 people.
It does, but I'm impatient.
One Joe.
So yeah, or one Joe. So I was like just hold the cart and I'll pick it up. And my plan was just to pick it up and set it on the edge of the cart and then roll it in. And I would mostly be, lifting with my shoulder and stuff. And she kind of misunderstood what hold the cart meant. She held the cart.
So it's a little cryptic.
But with no rigidity at all. So when I picked it up, when I set it on the edge of the cart just started moving. And I was going, hold the cart. And she went, I am. And it's just like moving across the aisle. And I'm trying to keep from
hold it still.
And yeah, I didn't give enough information. Totally my fault. So I had to just pick up the whole thing and I strained my back. So when I got home, I just laid on my couch for hours. And so I looked at Netflix, and there's an anime on there, brand new, just came out like April 4th, Devil May Cry, based on the video game Devil May Cry.
Right.
And I just
think
went
it's
ahead
from the same studio. It's from the same studio that did Castlevania, I believe.
Yeah, okay. Well, it that makes sense because it's another Capcom property, just like Castlevania is. Yeah. So they do the Devil May Cry games. But I watched the whole first season.
Incredible.
And it was awesome. It was really, really good. It was. It starts out like with a lot of humor, and then there's some messed up stuff. It's definitely not kid friendly towards the end. Some really messed up stuff happens, but I really, really enjoyed it. I don't usually watch TV, but
would you recommend it for somebody that's never played the video game?
I absolutely would. It's hilarious.
You don't play the video game to enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, okay. They kind of spell everything out for you, like what's going on with the character, and it's kind of made, I think, with the assumption that maybe you haven't, because there's even reveals in the show, like story reveals that anybody that played the game would know them already.
Gotcha.
But the show
does it follow Dante, or does it follow like one of the newer characters?
It's Dante. Yeah.
Okay.
Dante's main character, and it's amazing. I mean, I don't want to, no spoilers, but some of the stuff that he says is just he's so funny, and likes to talk smack a lot while he's fighting, and he's really good at fighting, and it was super entertaining. So anybody that's kind of into anime, I definitely recommend that.
Well, even though that you had people send me feet pics, I'm still adding that to my list. So thank you.
All right. Well, cool.
Joe.
Yeah. There's not much feet in it. You might not like it, Curtis, but
Joe.
Go ahead, Dylan.
So Green Day posted that they had a song on the soundtrack for that show. What was it?
Might have been American Idiot.
Okay, then it was American Idiot. Okay.
It might have been. I'm not sure. Like their portrayal. So they have the president and vice president of the United States are in the show,
mm-hmm.
and they portray the president in like the most ridiculous manner that they can. He's like an overweight Texan guy, but he's wearing like a red, white, and blue tie and a little tiny white cowboy hat. It's like super undersized.
Mm-hmm.
and he's like completely incompetent. But the vice president is voiced by the actor who played Batman that passed away recently.
I thought this was a fictional story.
I was thinking the same thing.
No? Okay.
Kevin Conroy?
Kevin Conroy voices the vice president.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Huh.
Who'd they get to voice the president? I mean, he's like royalty. Who's
he's the VP, and it's a really cool character that to fit in with like the story of Devil May Cry. So again, no spoilers, but that was neat too, because I'm listening to it and I was like, damn, that vice president sounds like Batman. And then I kept watching and I was like, he really sounds like Batman. So I looked it up. Yeah, and it was Kevin Conroy. So
wow,
that was pretty awesome.
Dylan, I just Googled it. It is American Idiot, and it's in episode 8. If you just want to watch that specific,
the soundtrack for it, like it's not just Green Day.
It's a whole bunch
of great music. In that it has a killer soundtrack.
When they posted the picture that showed all the bands with the songs, Green Day's was just scribbled out, so no one knew what it was. Gotcha. And then they just released a song like 2 days ago, completely separate from that. So I wasn't sure if it was that song or if it was American Idiot, like I thought.
Yeah. I don't have a great memory, but it felt like that was the one that was on
there. That would make sense.
But like there's one part where he's getting ready to fight and Dante goes over to the jukebox and he's like, I got to put on some music for this. And he puts on Rage Against the Machine right before like he's attacked. And the whole fight is like choreographed to Rage Against the Machine. It was freaking awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
So, it was
on Netflix, you said?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah. And since I was handicapped that day, I just watched the whole first season and I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Jesse sent me one, I think yesterday or today, that I thought was really cool. I don't know, Jesse, you want to talk about that one that you sent me?
Huh?
Movie preview that you sent me.
Huh?
What did I send you?
Murderbot.
Oh, it's a series coming to Apple Plus.
Oh, it's a series. I thought it was a movie. Oh, okay.
Yep, it's Apple TV.
Man, that was funny.
Yeah, it's this future sci-fi looking world, and there's this robot that becomes self-aware, rewrites his code, calls himself Murderbot, and starts assassinating people or something. I don't know. It looks
and
it's got
he has like a robotic face, but then he pulls his like mask off, and it turns out that he's Alexander Skarsgård. Is that right?
Yep.
Is it Alexander?
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
Yeah. Tarzan.
Yeah.
Brian says, I think the Devil May Cry series is Kevin Conroy's last before passing. Well, he says Connor, but then he comes back and says Conroy. Also, don't know if you saw it earlier, but talked about Charbot 2. You know, see Brian if you need one. Don't know how many he's got left, but Charbot 2 rocks. That Murderbot, Jesse sent that to me, and I was like, I don't know. It just first of all, the concept sounds cool, but then like it seems like it's action packed, but at the same time, it's got some comedy to it. Like it looks really good. So
yeah, whoever directed it, it really has I know it's not James Gunn, but it has a James Gunn like Guardians of the Galaxy feel. You know, it's just like wanton violence, but in a bright, beautiful, colorful world. Like it's got a really cool aesthetic. It looks great. I'm down for that for sure.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of one of my favorite. It's not a graphic novel, but it is a comic series that I got to read the whole thing as a collected edition. Scud the Disposable Assassin.
Scud, yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, it's different, but it's making me want to reread that now.
Cool.
Yeah,
that was
speaking of all these like Netflix and anime. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched what is that show on Netflix? Death by Robot. What is the name of that show?
Robot.
Death by
Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
Love, Death, and Robots. Yeah, that. Yeah. I just saw the trailer for the new season of that coming on Netflix, and that looks
So what's that
incredible.
about?
So it's just like an anthology, and I think is there 2 seasons out already, or maybe 3? I think there's at least 2, and it is just it's a collection of like some of the best animation houses around the globe. And these may be people you've heard of, you may be people you haven't heard of, studios you haven't heard of. Some of the animation is super realistic, 3D, like gorgeous CG that you're like, God, that looks so realistic. But then others can be very cartoony and goofy. And the stories range from,
Full series.
3 to 5 minutes long, yeah, I mean, it could be like something's fun and goofy. The next thing is like super scary and futuristic. Something could be in the past. David Fincher is one of the producers of it, and he directs a short animation every season. He's got one in like the first 2. I think he's doing one in this one. So you have some big name directors. I think Todd Phillips is another producer on it. The guy who did the Joker movies and the Hangover films. So he's like a big producer of it as well. So I don't know if he's ever directed anything, but they're just little shorts. Love, Death, and Robots. That's it. Yeah, it's super incredible. If you've never watched it, man, check it out. Like it is some great animation in there.
Hot take, but I did not hate the second Joker movie. Like I thought it was actually pretty decent.
It's an extremely well-crafted film. Like it's beautiful to look at. The choreography is great. The acting, the writing, the directing. I mean, it's the same group. I mean, everybody that worked on it's the same people who worked on the first movie. It's just, I don't know. Like it just didn't hit the way Joker 1 hit for me, and it's definitely not what I'm not one of these people that comes out of a movie and says, well, that's not what I wanted, so I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. I take stuff as it comes, just like life. Like I don't get to control what happens around me in life, right? I just have to take it as it comes. And so I don't ever look at a film and be like, well, that's not what I wanted out of Transformers. Like hey, that's what happened. Even with Star Wars, it's my favorite franchise. Like I don't get on like Facebook or the internet and like bitch and moan because like that series wasn't what I wanted it to be. It's not about me. Like they're making series for different people. You get in where you fit in. But Joker 2 was one of those movies that I had been looking forward to for 2 years. And then when I finally saw it, I was extremely disappointed. It just was not what I wanted. It's not the direction I wanted that film series to go. I wanted to see the Joker or he's not the Joker. He's a Joker. I mean, Todd Phillips made that very clear. He's not the Joker to Batman. He is a Joker.
Yeah.
He's a pretender. And so what I really wanted to see was a continuation of the first film where it left off was this guy who did not set out to be this figurehead, this guy who did not set out to be a martyr. He's now like thrust into like this rock star status, and he's got all of these followers that are looking to him to lead them into this new era of crime in Gotham and Barbarian. And how does he deal with that? How does he deal with like being in a position? It's like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. I don't have a plan. Like Heath Ledger's Joker's like, plan? I don't have a plan. I'm a dog chasing cars. Like I wanted to see that. And that's most definitely not what they wanted to do. And then when I heard that Joaquin Phoenix, who has a strict rule in his career of never doing sequels, by the way, like he's never done one and says he'll never do one. Like he had a dream that this is what the movie was. And then he went to Todd and said, I want to do it. The dream was that it's fully choreographed with music numbers. And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
No, that's not a good idea.
Real quick, and then I'll go to Dylan. Like I expected to fully hate it. Like I'm not a musical guy. I've told these guys numerous times. I really have a hard time making it through a musical because they just seem so freaking corny. And not only that, but I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I mean, I thought it was okay, but I didn't like lose my mind thinking it was amazing. And so maybe it was just because I had lowered expectations, but I went into it and you know, I watched it once it came out streaming. So I didn't like watching it in the theater, and everybody just like trashed the hell out of it. So by the time I saw it, I was like, well, I'm going to give this a go. You know, worst case scenario, I, you know, waste 2 hours of my life, whatever. And I watched it and I was like, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I was on the, you know, I was interested the whole time. I mean, it's not my favorite movie in the world, but I was like, this isn't a bad movie. So, but anyway, sorry, Dylan.
So if you wanted a little bit more Heath Ledger Joker stuff, there's a few fan films on YouTube that are really good. There's one called Joker Rising by Smoking Alien Productions, that it's like a full-length movie, and the guy doesn't look like Heath Ledger, but it feels like it would fit in pretty well. So that's something you could check out. And then there's another one that is basically what if the Joker was still around during The Dark Knight Rises. But I can't find it right now. But if I do, I'll get it to you somehow.
Awesome.
I will say that in the dead center of Joker Folia Do, there's a scene in the courtroom where the little person, Jimmy Puddles, takes the stand against Arthur, and that scene is riveting. And that is, to me, that's the heart of that movie. Like, I was near tears just in that like 5 minute, 7 minute scene, whatever it is. It is so good. Like, I came out of that theater thinking, well, that dude needs like a little Oscar nod for that. Like, he deserved
he
it.
was
Like,
good.
that
Yeah.
scene is incredible. It's so good.
I watched a show this week, and I thought it was one of the folks on this channel. It might have been Jesse. I don't know. Somebody had recommended this on Netflix. It's called Adolescence, and it's only 4 episodes.
I've heard that's good.
And it's one of those where like afterwards, like Darla was like, she's like, what was the point of that? You know, like, because it's an interesting movie, and each, or you know, limited series, whatever, each of the episodes is filmed in one continuous shot. So like episode 1 is just all one shot, and then episode 2 is there's like a little bit of a jump, like not a huge jump, but a little bit of jump between 1 and 2, and then it's all one shot. And you know, same for 3 and 4. And without giving anything away with it, I will just say that it definitely had me. It was very thought provoking, and it had me like hit me in the feels. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's, you know, Jesse normally when he recommends something, he goes, you might not want to watch this one, Curtis, because it's not a feel good thing. This is not a feel good thing, but it's really interesting. So
Is it like a true oneer, or is it edited in a way to where they might have stitched it together?
I'm pretty sure from what I read on it and what I seen that it's all one continuous shot, including
that stuff impresses me. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, including one of the shots to end one of the episodes. This isn't really giving anything away, but it ends up like kind of finishing where the camera like goes over the town, and I guess the camera that they were using for it got strapped onto like a drone that then went, but it was all still one shot. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Like, I love that. Anytime I see a movie or a TV show where the director's like, all right, I'm going to stretch my legs a little bit, and we're going to do like a crazy camera move that has you scratching your head. And you know, like, my wife doesn't pay any attention to that kind of stuff. Like, when she's watching something, like we're watching something together, like she won't pick up on it. Like, she just is just following the story. And I'm like, I'm sorry, babe, I got to back this up. Like, I have to see this again. Like, and she's like, what? I'm like, there's no way this isn't, like, something here is not right. Like, how did they move the camera? Like, what happened? How did it go through this car and then somebody pick it up and then go up? And then, like, the camera had to be on a dolly here. It had to be, there's a handoff here. Then it has to get attached to like a boom and then go up. Like,
yeah.
Then at some point it gets attached to a crane. It's like, check out this camera move. And she's like, why do you do this? Like, can we just watch the show? And I'm like, I can't. I have to enjoy this.
According to Wikipedia, each episode is shot in one take, was planned through multiple rehearsals, building up to full technical run-throughs during which the director of photography would plan camera movements. Each 1 hour episode was shot around 10 times with 2 takes per day.
Wow.
Episodes were shown as completed in one take with no cuts or blending shots with CG. Graham said the each episode took about 3 weeks in total.
Wow.
The takes were used as follows: first episode, second take; second episode, 13th take; third episode, 12th take; fourth episode, 16th take. And they were not filmed in chronological order.
It's like I said, without giving anything away, I will just say that it makes you think about, how you raise your kids. It makes you think about what kids go through nowadays. Like, when I was a kid, we didn't have social media. I dealt with the old school bullies that would push you around and try to take your lunch money, and then you pop them in the nose once, and that's about it. Now you got the other stuff, and there's other things to worry about, and kids think about things that we didn't have to think about back then. And yeah, it's a very interesting series. So you may not walk away feeling good, but you'll walk away thinking. So, yeah.
Good recommendation.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Absolutely. I would definitely check it out for sure.
Yeah.
I started watching Handmaiden's Tale. I'd never seen that before, so I'm watching that.
Is that a show or a movie?
It's a show on Hulu, I think.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is its 6th and final season. It's based on a book by Margaret Atwood. It is something that we might not be too far away from in our own country.
Yeah, it's
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible. And I'll give you a little piece of trivia. This is actually pretty funny because Margaret Atwood is actually still alive. She wrote the book in the 80s. I believe it was in the 80s when the book came out. And she is a character, man. So she is so afraid that her book would be burned, because burning books is a big part of the show. Getting rid of old history and stuff. And she was afraid that the book would eventually be burned and there would be no more copies of her book available. So she commissioned this team to get together and figure out how to print a copy of her book that is flame proof. And she was presented with this copy, and she took it to social media, and she put up, she's got to be in her late 70s, and she straps on this flamethrower and she torches her book, and it doesn't burn. And so there's an unburnable copy of this book. She's like, and she's like, this may be a work of fiction, but she's like, all of this stuff happened before. She's like, I didn't make any of this stuff up. If you think that this can't happen again, all of this actually did happen in Germany. This stuff did happen. But yeah, it's a very dystopian look at our future of America.
Awesome.
It's a great show.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's really good.
Right now I've got Hulu with ads, which is fucking torturous, but
yeah,
I got it. It's through my phone company, through Verizon. I get Disney and Hulu, but the Hulu has ads. And then I called, I looked up some things I would like to just pay the difference to get it with no ads. Right. And they're like, well, you can't do that. You basically have to cancel your Hulu that you're getting for free and then pay for the full version with ads. And I'm like, I'm already getting the Hulu. I just want to pay the difference to get to. They're like, yeah, you can't do that. I'm like
Disney Plus is a really good bundle right now. So you can get Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max, or what they just call Max. And that's what we have. We have no ads at all. And it is, I want to say it's $22 a month. 23.
Oh wow!
And
you get all three of those.
Go to Disney Plus to get that, or how do you? Okay,
yeah,
I might have to check.
Just
that
go
out.
to DisneyPlus.com.
Yeah, me too, because I'm paying for all three of those separately for my girlfriend.
Well, I canceled Max a while back, but I would like to get it again. But it was going to be $20-something a month just for that one. So
yeah, it's like a $5 add-on with your Disney Plus and Hulu bundle. So it's like $17 without, and then I think it's or $18 without, and then $5 for Max or something like that. It's a really good bundle. That's what we have, and yeah, man, there's a lot of really good stuff. And if you're into Batman, I mean, I mean, Warner Brothers is HBO. I mean, they own HBO, so like every Batman like movie, animated series, it's all on there. If you're,
I got to go back and watch the Batman movies now before our ranking, so that I am treating them all fairly. So, yeah, all right. Anything else for Event Horizon? Anything that's either coming up or that you guys are currently watching that you're interested in, or video games? Anything?
Yeah, I'm watching the Netflix Daredevil for the first time.
Yes.
Oh, the original one.
Nice.
Are you on the first season?
Yeah, I'm on the first season. I think we're like 5 or 6 episodes in.
Awesome. Yeah,
it's really good. I slept on it. I watched Punisher season 1 and 2, and then I never got around to Daredevil.
It's great.
And then they said it wasn't canon anymore, so I didn't bother. And now that it's back, I'm watching it all again, and I'm really excited to actually watch it this time.
Great show. It's my favorite.
I really like it so far.
So when you mean somebody said it wasn't canon, you mean are you talking about like before Disney bought or got the rights back from Netflix?
Yeah, so they basically said that, well, now all of the Netflix stuff is full canon again.
Yeah,
but there was a time where
I didn't know if you knew that or not. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a time where kind of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was its own continuity, that everything happens but not exactly
Towards
the
the
same.
end. Originally, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was tied in with the MCU. They even had crossovers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Civil War. Was it? No, not Civil War.
I think the first one was Thor, right? The second Thor movie.
No, it was Civil War. That they had one. The Thor, they might have had one with the Dark World.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they had something where it came out, but then Civil War, there was like a whole thing, like when Hydra found out, like that became like a whole storyline in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It was really good too.
Yeah. And then as the show got on further, it just kind of started separating itself from the MCU, and it was like, okay, now it's
wasn't that Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier. You're right. Yes. Yes.
And speaking of wonders, man, like Dylan, you're in for a treat, because like each season of that show, they would do like a one take, like fight.
Yeah, the hallway fight in season 1, man.
The hallway fight in season 1. I think season 2 did one in a stairway, like it went vertical, like it was a stairway, which is really good. Yeah, there's some really good, like really talented camera people, and they pulled off some really cool stuff.
I tell
and
you
then
what,
you get to see.
I'm impressed with the fight scenes in this new season. Like I know we were talking amongst ourselves here that we thought, with it being on Disney, that it would kind of get like the violence and stuff would get turned down a bit. Dude, like it's really good. It's good.
Brutal. Especially if you watch the last episode, like there's a gunshot in that episode that I was like, woo, I'm surprised Disney let them get away with that one. But I mean, I think we all knew that was coming when Disney added the age gate to Disney Plus right before like the the Deadpool movies came. They were like, we're gonna have to put an age gate up, because like an age verification thing, because they're letting them go whole hog. So, and I think, did I read correctly that next week's Daredevil's the last episode?
Yeah, of this season. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've already got second season is already being shot. That character that's in that, because I'm sorry, I'm a kind of a noob when it comes to Marvel, but that Muse character, is that a character from the comics, or is that okay?
Yes.
I didn't know if that was just introduced for
now,
this.
I would say that Disney did tone him down a little bit, because in the
comics, he was fucking creepy. That might be one of the creepiest things I've seen in a comic book show.
Yeah, he was very creepy. And if you go back, like, you realize he's the one that's doing all the spray painting around town with like kingpins, like mural.
Spoilers, man.
Sorry. In the comics, he goes a lot further, like skinning people, making art installations with body parts.
I love it.
I mean, it's pretty dark, like, stuff. So they toned it down a little bit. Oh, and here's the really cool thing.
Remind me to stay away from Dylan at LegionsCon.
I know, right? Don't share a room with that guy.
Greg shared a
The
room
cool
with
thing
me
in the
and he
comics,
survived.
the cool thing
Jesse shared a
in
room
the
with me.
comics. He's naming names.
Yeah.
His name Jesse does not remember this happening. Look at him. Look, he's like, I don't. In the comics, Muse can
I mean,
actually
you stayed at
dampen.
my place.
Yeah. We
My
shared a
goodness.
space.
Will one of you guys let Mark talk? He's trying to finish a sentence, damn it.
I was just going to say, in the comics, Muse can dampen his sounds and his smells, and he can dampen. He has a little dampening field around him. Look at this, Greg. That's me and you taking a nap last year.
Why is his
And
hand on the bowling ball though? That's.
I asked the same question. I was like, "Is that a snowball?"
Is it symbolic?
They explained it.
Or?
They got their thumbs glued into a single bowling ball. I don't remember that episode, but anyway, so Muse can dampen his sounds, and it basically makes him completely invisible to Daredevil, and that's really dope. Like that's really cool, but you can't do that in the MCU because how did he get those powers? So they kind of like just had to negate that. They just kind of just like abandon it and just say, oh, that's not a part of it. But it's one of the things that made him really dope in the comics is that, I mean, he basically was invisible to Matt. Matt had to just guess where he was.
Yeah.
And that made him
It's
scary.
so weird because they have mutants now. They could do anything with powers.
Yeah, but they don't have mutants in like. Do they have mutants in our
Miss
world?
Marvel,
Or is it?
They said she was a mutant.
Miss Marvel. Yeah, that's right.
And then there's another character.
And Namor.
That's right.
Namor's a mutant.
I was wondering if you guys noticed that I told Jesse and Dylan to stop interrupting Mark just so that I could then interrupt Mark by putting that picture up on the screen.
I love it. It's fine. It's totally fine. I feel honored because I feel like anytime that Curtis. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I kind of feel honored because I know Curtis has like a 2-minute time limit before he has to like say something and make his opinions known. And so I kind of feel honored when he's like,
2 minutes is the max.
Yeah, right. 2-minute max. And so, hey, I got that applause. So anytime he's like, hey, let somebody else talk, I was like, oh man, I kind of feel honored.
Man, standing ovation for Mark.
Can I also note?
Sorry. It was on loop. I was not intentionally playing that multiple times.
That
I didn't realize it was default on loop.
Go ahead, Greg.
Next week is the PlayStation 5 version of the Indiana Jones game, I think. So I'm excited for that.
That looks good. Yeah. Cool. I've still not played it. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Awesome. Anything else for Event Horizon, guys? All right.
Thunderbolts is out in a few weeks.
Yes I'm actually looking forward to that.
I'm excited for that. I'm not excited for those figures from Hasbro. They look like dog shit, but I'm excited for the movie.
I think want the faces on those are the best movie faces they've done so far.
Yeah, they are. That's true.
I want the Red Guardian so I could make Murder Santa from Violent Night.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Thunderbolts looks great. I am very excited to see how the MCU handles basically Superman in the MCU because that's what Sentry is. And so, we've got a character now that is just like full blown, like not Thor, but like just flying around like with a cape and like, and I had to look up because I never read much of Sentry and I didn't realize that when Bob or whatever they call him, like takes the drug that creates Sentry. Well, actually it doesn't create Sentry. It creates the Void, the black version that is making everybody disappear. And then he was so powerful and so evil, right? Like it has to create like an anti-Void to counteract it. And so the anti-Void was Sentry. So it's kind of like this duality. I don't know how they're handling that. Is it a split personality? I don't know. I never read this comic. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
The cool thing with Sentry is that he was erased from everyone's memory in like every timeline, and then he just shows back up one day because to defeat the Void, it was like he had to do something so evil to defeat the Void that he needed to be like erased from the timeline or something. So I'm interested in how they're going to handle that.
That seems like exactly like what Marvel did with Spider-Boy, like the new Spider-Man character that they have out.
Yeah.
Billy, what's his name? I forgot his name. But yeah, then they brought him back and like they created him as a brand new character just a couple of years ago, right? Billy, is it Billy? Not Billy Batson. That's Captain Marvel.
No,
Like,
that's
what am I thinking?
Shazam.
It's Shazam.
Yeah.
That's Shazam. Yeah. But they created him out of nowhere, and they just said, "Oh, he was completely wiped out of all memory, and nobody remembers him." But he used to fight alongside Miles and Peter, and that just seems like is that Marvel's go-to move when they want to just say, "Oh, this guy's been around forever," you know?
Kind of.
God, now I gotta look up.
They've done it. They've tried to do it a couple times now, and I've not seen any of them really.
Billy
stick.
Briggs is his name. Bailey Briggs. I'm sorry, Bailey Briggs. Yeah.
I mean, DC's
Little
go-to
redheaded
is
Spider
just
Boy.
restart the whole universe. So
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
The other cool
Another
thing
new
with Sentry
52.
yeah,
is he's the only character that stood any chance of defeating World Breaker Hulk when he came back to Earth after Planet Hulk, and he still lost.
I'm just
wow.
I don't know what to do in the movie. I would just say really guard your expectations about what Sentry's going to be. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
I'll
all the
also
reviews
say,
of
I
it that
feel
have been
like
coming out are like super positive. Like there's
what
been
I
a few
heard.
screenings.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I'm not
like,
saying it's
wow,
going to
this
be a
is-
bad movie. I just don't think he's going to be as comic accurate. Like I think you guys are thinking bigger questions than they're. I will happily eat those words and be wrong if they do manage to pull it off.
I think it'll
Yeah.
be the door to a bigger story.
I mean, like
I
they
don't think
say in
it'll
the,
be the bigger story.
they say in the trailer, they just got a bunch of people that can like shoot guns, right?
Punch and
So,
shoot. Yeah.
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 So,
And in Sentry,
I'm
in the
still
comics,
interested.
at least the comics I've read, he is an absolute douche canoe of a character when he's a good guy.
Oh.
Like I hate him. Every time he'd show up, I was like, oh God,
He's
it's
like what
is
people.
he's not
don't
as
like
bad as
Superman say.
Homelander, but he's not as good as Superman. Like he's
okay.
it's almost like if Tony Stark had Superman's powers.
I got you. Well, I'm also excited for the guy who's playing him, Lewis Pullman. That's Bill Pullman's son, and he is incredible. And then again, they also have Wyatt Russell, who's Kurt Russell's son. There's like so many second generation named actors in this
What else
movie,
is
and they're both.
Lewis Pullman done? What else? Has he done?
So we watched a show. I'm trying to remember where we watched it, but it had 2 seasons. It was
Top Gun
called
Maverick.
yeah, he was in Top Gun Maverick. Sure, that was his big
Was he
film
in
role.
Stranger Things?
No, he
That's
was on a
Human
TV
Torch.
show called Outer Range. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
Oh,
I think it was
I'm
on
thinking of the
Amazon
guy
Prime.
playing Human Torch.
Oh yes, he was in
That guy's a
Stranger
good
Things.
actor.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
Outer Range was good.
Yeah,
Sucks
yeah.
they canceled it. I need to know
Yeah,
what
I'm
happens.
very upset. Well, I mean, at least they answered what the hole was, which is a portal through time. So they at least answered that, but then how is it there? Why is it there? You know, like that's I'm sad to see that show go because I'll tell you, man, like that cast was fantastic for that show. It's still up if anybody wants to watch it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It did get canceled, so you're not going to get like all full answers, but he's in that show. The main actor, of course, is Thanos. He's in it. He is fantastic in it. It's great. Like good acting all the way around.
awesome. All right. Well, we are going to go do This Week in Theaters. And so this is where we time travel back in time. We land on a certain year and we go into the theater on this day in that year, and we can see any of the top 10 movies in the theater for that week.
This is the segment where we travel through time to watch crappy movies. Yeah.
Lately, that has been the case, yes.
V for Vendetta was good.
I mean, this time of year is not known for great movie. Like usually February, March, April are like where movies go to die.
Yep. Well, let's
back
see.
in the day.
Let's see how bad it
it's
is.
not like these days where, you know, it's like, oh no, you can have a top tier movie come out. They just had to move it to February. You know, it's not like
Right.
that. Like, yeah. So
Here we go. 2012. That means that Dylan was alive. So that's good.
I may have seen a movie that year.
This is there we go. Weekly 2012.
I was in 8th grade, so I definitely saw movies.
Beautiful. And we are looking for February 11th. Here we go. Number one movie at the theaters that week is The Hunger Games. Katniss Everdeen voluntarily takes her younger sister's place in The Hunger Games, a televised competition in which 2 teenagers from each of the 12 districts of Panem are chosen at random to fight to the death. So that is number one. Next, we have American Reunion. Jim, Michelle, Stifler, and their friends reunite in the East Great Falls, Michigan for their high school reunion. Number 3, Titanic.
Get the fuck out of here.
A
Good
re-release.
How is this movie on this list again?
In
$350 million.
17-year-old aristocrat falls in love with a kind but poor artist aboard the luxurious, ill-fated RMS Titanic. But even though she's in love with him, she doesn't let him on the board because fuck him. Next, we have Wrath of the Titans. Perseus braves the treacherous underworld to rescue his father Zeus, captured by his son Ares and brother Hades, who unleash the ancient titans upon the world.
Has anyone seen this one?
Yes.
I saw the theaters, but I don't remember it.
I saw the first one of that, but I didn't see that one.
I like it, but it's dumb as shit.
We should watch that.
All right. Next, we have Mirror Mirror. Evil Queen steals control of the kingdom, and an exiled princess enlists the help of 7 resourceful rebels to win back her birthright. So, then we've got 21 Jump Street. A pair of underachieving cops are sent back to their local high school to blend in and bring down a synthetic drug ring. Next, we have The Lorax. 12-year-old boy searches for the one thing that will enable him to win the affection of the girl of his dreams. To find it, he must discover the story of the Lorax, a grumpy yet charming creature who fights to protect his world.
I think Jesse's going to pick that one.
Interesting. I'm thinking Hunger Games, but we'll see. Next, we have Salmon Fishing in the Yemen.
Exciting.
Starring Obi-Wan Kenobi.
A fisheries expert is approached by a consultant to help realize a sheik's vision of bringing the sport of fly fishing to the desert. That sounds just so intriguing.
Titillating.
That sounds like another crane operator movie.
It embarks on an upstream journey of faith and fish to prove the impossible possible. Okay. Next, we have John Carter. War-weary former Army captain is inexplicably transported to Mars and reluctantly becomes embroiled in a conflict of epic proportions.
Great film. Should have got to continue.
And next, last on the list, number 10, Houseful 2, a comedy of errors wherein 4 men help each other fool their prospective father-in-laws, creating a cascade of confusion and mayhem. There you go.
Wow.
Those are the 10 movies. We can't see anything past 10. So you have your choice of any of those. We're starting at the bottom. Dylan, what are you seeing?
21 Jump Street.
1 for 21 Jump Street.
That movie's fucking hilarious.
It is funny as shit, man.
I just rewatched both of them. They're
Rob
so
Riggle.
funny, man.
Rob Riggle is hilarious in that.
It's such a good series.
Do you guys know that right before Disney bought Fox, they were planning a 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover?
Oh,
I heard about that.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
It was in the works, and everybody was on board, but
yeah,
it'll happen.
Schmerber, you got the next pick.
I was kind of torn between 21 Jump Street and John Carter. But I'm going to go with John Carter. I really like that movie. Very underrated.
All right.
Damn good movie.
All right.
My name is
Joe
Jeff.
Gonzalez, we're up to you.
Yeah, I'm also going with 21 Jump Street. That movie's hilarious. And a quick little funny story. The only reason that I watched it is that I bought a DVD player or Blu-ray player from someone on Facebook Marketplace. And that movie was in the player when I got home. I was like,
win.
I might as well watch it.
It became one of the 21 movies that Joe's ever watched because it was in there for free.
If it was salmon fishing, I'd have gave it back.
It's so funny. So I saw 22 Jump Street when that came out before I had seen the first one.
What?
Yeah,
And yeah, because I was a teenager and that's what was in the movies that my friends decided to see. But Wyatt Russell is in the second movie.
Really?
As like
didn't know that.
The red herring villain character. And I had seen it, and then now he's in a whole bunch of stuff, and I had no idea that he was in that movie from like 10 years ago.
Huh.
Nice.
All right. Well, now we can write Dylan's biography.
Yeah.
Jesse, what are you seeing?
I love you. You're the man.
Probably surprising no one. I actually have seen salmon fishing in the Yemen, but I'm going to go watch John Carter.
Ooh,
good choice.
Because that movie,
wow,
I really like that movie. It had some flaws, and I feel like they could have done some things better. Their marketing for it was atrocious, but I enjoyed the movie overall. And
I really thought you were going to see Hunger Games.
I saw most of the movies on this list.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, like Jesse said, I think I've seen just about every movie on this list with the exception of, well, let's see, Housefall 2 I haven't seen, Mirror Mirror
Yet.
I haven't seen, American Reunion I haven't seen. But yeah, the rest of it. No, I'm definitely going to see John Carter. That movie was the first live action movie directed by Andrew Stanton, who was a Pixar director. He directed like Finding Nemo and like one of the Toy Story movies, one of the later ones. Like he knows animation. And I think he kind of like after this went back to animation. I think this movie is extremely underrated. It was beautifully shot. Like the CG was great. Like the CG characters still to this day like hold up and they look good. It was horribly marketed. I don't think Disney knew how to market this film because is it a sci-fi movie? Is it a sword and sandal movie? Like, is it comedy? Is it action? You know, like we have things like that now that No, go ahead.
Their big marketing for it was like before Star Wars, there was John Carter. It's like, you dumbasses, you're about to buy Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't compare the two because I mean it's like an old Wild West film, you know, at first, and like this cowboy gets thrown into the back. It has nothing to do with Star Wars. I mean, it's just I hate that that's like the go-to comparison for anything, you know.
No,
like I remember like when the Matrix came out, they were like.
When
the
they
Matrix
said
came out, they were
before
like,
Star
this
Wars,
is like our generation Star Wars. And it's like, stop comparing everything to Star Wars. Like, we don't. Go ahead, Dylan. I'm sorry.
Sorry. When they said before Star Wars, they meant this is the movie we're going to make before Star Wars. So we're going to get it out of the way now, and it's going to suck.
I like how Mark apologized to Dylan for interrupting Dylan.
Yeah, you didn't have to apologize to me.
I'm sorry that I interrupted your interrupting of me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There was a delay.
No, I talk over people a lot. I don't mean to do it. I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't you at all. All right. Anything else, Mark?
No, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I would go see it again.
So if all of these movies were like on a streaming service, and I'm flipping through a streaming service and I see all these movies come up, I'm probably watching 21 Jump Street because it's absolutely hilarious. And as Guaisogwe said, my name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff. That was a great line.
It's so good. He's sitting there, just going on and on. He turns to his partner. My name is Jeff. So great movie, but in the theaters, I want big theater experience. I've never seen Wrath of the Titans. Now I can't imagine that it's anywhere near what I remember from my youth of Clash of the Titans. From back in the 70s. But
that movie rocked.
Yeah, that was awesome. But I would give this a whirl. I would see this on the big screen. It seems like it would be a nice big screen experience, even if it's a bad movie.
It's fun. It's terrible, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Did you see the Clash of the Titans, the remake with Sam Worthington? Because that's what this is a sequel to.
I did see that. I didn't see this one.
Okay. I didn't know if you. Yeah. It
was
on
okay,
par, but not as good.
Okay.
It's definitely. Yeah. I enjoyed seeing it on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm putting it on my list to watch. So that's what I would go see. But 21 Jump Street is awesome. John Carter. I didn't see it till just like maybe last year. I think Jesse recommended it, and I watched it. It was pretty good. It didn't necessarily pull me in, but I think maybe if I saw it on the big screen, it would have been different. I don't know. G says 21 Jump Street for him, of course. And then V-Dog says, wasn't Titanic on OffWorld a few weeks ago? Yes, but it was the first release of Titanic. This is the re-release because this is in 2012 where everything was cool to be in 3D. 3D was making a comeback. People were buying 3D TVs, and so they had to
How do you make Titanic 3D?
What's that?
How do you make Titanic 3D?
Mm.
The iceberg coming out of the screen?
Other movies 3D that aren't filmed in 3D.
Yeah, with the 3D glasses.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's an iceberg. It's coming right at me.
I never saw Titanic in 3D.
The part where the guy falls and bounces off the propeller, there's definitely like a shallow depth of field. Yeah.
I think maybe why would be a better question than how.
Yeah.
Because it's James Cameron.
Money.
James Cameron.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's
Water 3D. All of my movies have to be. All of his movies have to be competing for the top spot at the same time.
Yeah, imagine beating your own record for the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah. Gee, that sounds like a plan. I might have to do that this weekend. Watch the original Clash. Greg says classic, of course. Yep. Ray Harryhausen, dude. I tell you what, especially skeletons, like for that movie, it's like the Scorpions, but any kind of like that stop motion animation stuff.
Yeah,
dude, that always creeped me out as a kid.
Curtis, have you ever seen the original King Kong?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Another little cool side note: John Carter of Mars is now in the public domain. So I know a friend of mine who's working on a John Carter comic because it's 100 years from its publication plus one is how that works. So a character 100 years from its creation plus 1 year gets to enter the public domain.
The year obscura.
Andrew Davis says you make Titanic 3D by turning up the AC and waterboarding everybody in the living room. I think that would be 4D, but yeah, that would be cool.
Now that I think about it, there's one scene in particular that I would really like to see in 3D. Now that I think about
it, I agree.
All right,
because Miss Kate Winslet was a fox in that movie.
I'd say she still is.
I agree.
This is where we get to the primary objective of the show, which we don't have one, unless we're going to talk about beans and hair. Jesse, anything about beans and hair?
I would highly advise not doing it. Beans are disgusting and not for human consumption, unless they're jelly beans. And
jelly beans are good.
Not the black ones or the white ones.
I was going to say, except the black ones.
Black ones are good,
or white ones.
She looked like she had pork and beans in her hair, and I really enjoy a good can of pork and beans.
There you go.
Speaking of pork and beans, that's a good segue. Did you hear about the guy from Weezer's wife getting shot?
Yeah.
Huh.
What the hell?
Put her gun down and like they shot her ass.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then they framed her for murder.
What's going on?
And what does it have to do with pork and beans? I lost the
That's
There's
one of
a
their songs.
tissue
Song
here.
from Weezer called "Pork and Beans."
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
their
I gotcha.
bassist's wife was like going outside to like check on like a hit and run or something, but she brought her gun with her.
Okay.
And then the cop showed up and shot her.
Oh.
And then they framed the murder on her. And then they booked her
Did she
for it.
survive? Is she
Yeah,
okay?
they shot her in the shoulder.
Hmm.
It was to disarm her because she didn't drop the gun or something. But then
Oh, is
the
she white?
husband, she's okay. She's recovering
No,
in the
you said
hospital.
is she
No,
white?
is she white?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, all right. Because
Yeah.
that's why they just nicked her. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
'cause, you know,
But then
that's
I
not
knew
how
where you were
they
going.
handle
I knew.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, you said nick her. Okay, I misheard that.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
the
God.
Good night, everybody.
Yo!
Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, come on, you guys. That shit was funny.
But then her husband, the bassist from
Joe is
Weezer,
brutal.
they asked
Man,
him
we were
about
talking
it.
about why people get shot. I think that's a valid answer.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, she's all right. You should come see us at Coachella. And he just brushed it off.
I do love
He
Weezer.
turned it into a sales pitch for tickets.
Yeah,
My
basically.
God.
Dude, they put on a good show. I saw them with Green Day
He's
a
got
few
to pay
years
for
ago.
shoulder surgery now for his wife.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. My
get that
God.
check.
Poor Joe.
They ruined her sweater.
Wow.
Sorry, Joe.
I came back, but
My
now I'm
apologies.
gone again.
All right. Dragon funded last week. I don't know if you guys knew about that.
Man, what a weekend.
Oh, wait. I was going somewhere with the pork and beans.
Oh,
Not
go
that I
ahead.
don't want to talk about the
Sorry,
dragons. I
Joe.
do. But in our last couple episodes of a Legion's Quest, there is a character with a lisp. So to research my role of being lispy, I was watching old Dusty Rhodes clips. And, I wined and dined with kings and queens and slept in an alley and ate pork and beans. And that's why pork and beans were on my mind. So.
Interesting.
And those episodes were good. Watch Legion's Quest. It was fantastic.
This is a side of Joe I've never seen before. I think somebody
Come see us at Coachella.
See what he's
Yeah. Without
see
giving
what
any.
he's smoking over there.
So
I
my
might be a little sleepy. That's probably what's happening. Yeah.
my new character for the D&D Mythic campaign, I'll just say that I've been watching a lot of Antonio Banderas's Zorro. So yeah.
Nice.
The
There
pony
you
in goes in the other man.
Was in boots.
But yeah,
I would
we got a
love to get
dragon.
back into D&D.
D&D is fantastic. I love it.
Did you guys hear about this dragon thing?
Yep.
Got a dragon, a
No.
bunch of figures. Pretty cool.
It is
Cool.
very
Old
cool.
news.
Very cool.
Got all the unlocks.
Dylan, did you say old news?
Yeah.
That's so last week.
Until
Yeah.
it shows up.
No
in
one's
a-
talking about
until
it
it shows
anymore.
up in a year and a half, and
Have
it's
you ever
new
heard
news again.
Tom Segura's joke about First 48? He's like, he goes, man, he goes, these cops on First 48, he goes, have you ever watch them not solve a crime? He goes, if it gets down to like 47 hours and like 59 minutes and it ticks over, they're like, hey, you guys gonna solve that murder? Hell no, that's old shit. We're gonna see new shit.
That's right.
And I love
Pretty
it. I
much.
love it. He's like, nope, we're done, dude. 48 hours,
I
that's
give
all we
it-
got.
I give it 3 days before people start asking about Figura. Because we're almost there.
It's already started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people.
Yeah,
are already starting
People were
to-
doing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Monday.
yeah.
Were they? Oh, so then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for what's next. Even though my wallet may
Me
not
too.
be excited, I'm excited.
Well, there's
Hey,
2 shows that
Greg.
could be coming up.
Greg, you can't be excited about toys that you buy. You're not allowed to do that.
You're right.
You're a
Yeah.
shill.
Gotta
You're a
complain
white
about 'em.
knight.
I know.
The way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to buy
Bus
toys
show.
you're supposed to buy the toys from the company, but hate the toys and hate the people that make
Right.
them. That's the only way to do it. Otherwise, you're a sellout.
Disgruntled. Yep.
Yeah.
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 You're
The
not true. You're not being realistic if you don't hate
Right.
on stuff you buy.
Yeah.
Why would you like stuff that you buy? That's ridiculous. Of course, you're
That's-
going to hate it.
I don't know.
You know, that's why you keep
You
buying
know,
it. So you can keep hating it.
I actually have gotten that comment a lot on my reviews. They're like, I've had a lot of comments where people are like, "Do you know you like everything you review?" And I go, "Yeah, because I spend my money on it."
Yeah.
I
Imagine
think
that. I don't buy stuff going into it thinking I'm not going to like it. If I don't think I'm going to like it, guess what? I don't buy it. Because I
feel
ain't got
like
money just to throw around. Like,
I feel like there's a lot of people that are misunderstanding what a hobby is.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
guess.
Yeah.
I
Just
didn't
overall,
think it was
you know?
a complex.
It's a short person with big feet that are hairy, right?
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
that describes me and
I
Greg.
have a name. Thank you, Jesse.
What kills me though is like, okay, as an admin, this is the part where I vent for a second. This is a time honored tradition on OffWorld with Curtis
Time's
pitches.
up.
Here we go.
So
In big and
Curtis is going to
Yeah,
get
here, let
get
me
a bunch
zoom
of
up a
pictures
little
sent to him of like smudged tabards now.
So here's the thing that's been happening in the cabal lately. You get one person says something shitty, right? So like today, somebody's like, first of all, guy comes on, he's like, hey, I've been away for a while. Since when did Four Horsemen come out with Timu Conan? Okay, right? Which I mean, all of us know. You say Timu anything, it means a shittier version, right? Lesser, cheaper, whatever. So then, you know, one person calls him out in the comments like, you know, hey, a lot of work went into this. It's a good figure. Maybe you don't want to, you know, come to the fan page and call it a Timu version. And to which the person responds, hey, lighten up, you know, you don't need a white knight and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, all this and that, you know, it just means not Conan. No, it doesn't mean not Conan. Timu version doesn't mean not something. It means a lesser version.
Right.
It means a cheaper version. You can look that up anywhere. So just because your idea of it may mean, yeah, it's just not this. No, it means cheaper, right? So then one person responds to that and says, hey, you may not want to call it this because it's an insult. Like 7 other people jump in and have to be like, you know, that person's a white knight. This is ridiculous. This is what I'm talking about in the cabal. Like all these people, like as soon as you say anything, they got to jump all over you and attack you. He didn't attack anybody. He just said, hey, maybe not the best use of wording, right? But one person will say something that is a difference of opinion of the original poster, and then 7 people got to jump on him about white knighting. Doesn't that make you like black knighting, or what the fuck is the opposite of that? Because
right.
you guys,
you need a term for that.
Yeah, you guys are all jumping on this guy's case because he is saying that it's a good figure, right?
It's called being a dick.
Yeah, it is.
That's
and it's
the
like,
term.
Listen, you can go in the cabal and you can share your opinion. You can go in there and say, hey, I don't like this figure, and here's why I don't like it. And that's cool. But guess what? Somebody else may comment and have a difference of opinion than you. That doesn't mean they're attacking you. It doesn't mean they're a white knight. Doesn't mean they're a shill. Doesn't mean that the company's paying them off. It just means they have a difference of opinion than you. And that's cool. So, I don't know. I just needed to get that off my chest because there's like this whole thing in there now where everybody's looking like as soon as anybody says anything that's remotely negative or just not overly positive, you've got, before even anybody says anything different to them, you've got a bunch of people in the comments going, oh, here come the white knights. Here come the this and that. Here come the shills. And it's like, you know, maybe just don't be a douchebag. I don't know.
Right.
That's an idea too.
Or think before you post something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, hey, while we're ranting about the cabal, let me jump on a little rant. I got a little rant.
How about it?
Of my own. I don't post a lot in the cabal. I read it every single day. I love stuff that people post, especially customs. Man, God, people are so creative in there. They just, and we're one of the greatest communities that I've ever been a part of. I absolutely love just about everybody that's in the cabal. But I really, you know, like there's been a few times like over the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, that I've noticed like people that I know, like, you know, outside of the cabal, who have like really started gatekeeping, you know, that they will Like I've seen people ask like very simple generic questions. Maybe they're not as knowledgeable as some of us, or they don't keep up with some of the stuff. And, people will just like pile in on these people asking like simple questions and just dog them and be like, dude, what are you talking about? This is not like how this goes. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about anything specific. I don't want to call out any specific post,
I think I
but
know which
man,
one you're talking about, though.
I just really like, I hate seeing like that kind of gatekeeping, because it's like, that's not what the cabal is, man. That's not what we are. Like, we got to be better than that. We got to do better next time. Like that bothers me. And I've seen that a few times recently, and it's just been like, man, I don't know. It's just kind of disheartening.
Okay, so here's what, and this is let me embiggen myself again. This is me speaking on behalf of Mark, because he doesn't want to call people up. What I think he's referring to, and if he's not, whatever, that's fine. But I will say this is the example I saw, was somebody saying, man, it'd be cool if one of the stretch goals was a saddle for the dragon, right? And then a bunch of people just start jumping in, and they're like, they already said that this is a god level dragon, and blah blah blah. It doesn't get it, and blah blah blah. And that's cool. It's correct. It is something that they've said, and they weren't going to have it as a stretch goal, and that's cool. But it's the way you go about doing it, because there's some people in our community that watch every content that's out there. They watch every YouTube show, every minute of Jeremy's show, every minute of Forest Horseman o'clock. The Forest Horseman o'clock will go on for 40 minutes, and it's 30 minutes of Chris talking about, his kids and D13. And maybe there's like a little segment in there of Forest, news, and they catch that. But not everybody does that. Not everybody catches all that stuff. So there's a way to educate people on stuff that maybe you have heard on other channels and things that you've been aware of, that without being a dick. Like a response could have been, well, I don't think they're going to do that as a stretch goal because they've said this is a dragon that doesn't get ridden. That being said, I am positive that somebody out there is going to create a saddle for this in a 3D print world, or there's plenty of other options from other toy lines. I'm sure customizers will be using, whether it's a Battle Cat saddle or something else to do this. That's a cool way to answer that question, give the person the information without beating them down. I agree. I would say that whether you're, pro Four Horsemen products, whether you're anti Four Horsemen products, whatever, just don't be a dick. That's it. Just don't be a dick to other people. If you're not a dick, then we're cool.
It's a toy.
More
enjoy your toy.
Yeah.
It's a toy. You know what I mean? Like, do with it what you
and
want.
It's yours. If you pay, dude,
you can write it yourself if you want to.
There you go.
It's yours. You paid so much freaking money. If you want to put a saddle on it, put a saddle on it, dude. Like, you want to put flip flops on that thing? He's got 4 feet.
Oh, come on now. Come on. I just told the truth with you guys.
Go ahead, Joe. Go G.
Yeah, well, Curtis stole my joke about writing it, but I actually did say that on one of the shows. Like it's your toy. If you want to ride it, the thing is huge. Go ahead. But I'm going to go back to, I think people are missing the point of a hobby. Now, my real life, quote unquote, real life, isn't always fantastic. There's things that are stressful that I have to deal with, and that these things, Dungeons and Dragons and collecting mythic legions, are things that I do to escape from the things in my life that aren't ideal. And I just don't understand why someone would collect or do something for fun, because that's what this is. We're middle-aged men collecting toys, little plastic
toys for yourself.
So
yeah, some of
I'm
us
not talking to you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan, if you're coming to the big boy table, you're getting treated like a big boy. Suck it up, Buttercup.
So
that's it. I'm tapping out at 54.
So what is the point? Like why do you collect toys? To be mad? Is somebody out there really that their life is so ideal and so perfect that they're like, I need to get into a hobby so I have something to be upset about? My point is that just seems ridiculous that you would be angry. And I'm not saying that there's never anything wrong with toys, but there are ways to handle it, like, contacting customer service. It doesn't have to be a preach moment, because there might be somebody like me that's having a bad day, and I want to get onto the cabal and experience some positive things to feel better about my crappy day. And instead I'm seeing arguments over toys. They're toys. Like, I don't know. That's my opinion on that, but it's collecting toys and playing games and things like that are all stuff that I want to bring joy to my life, to balance the scale of the good and the bad. And if you're collecting or doing any hobby to find something to be angry about, I just kind of feel like maybe you're in the wrong hobby and you should try to find something else.
I think their anger just kind of bleeds into every aspect of their life, even something as joyful as toys, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think
people.
The fact that it happens in the cabal and that people go there and they're surprised when they post something negative, and they're surprised that other people have a difference of opinion and want to say positive things. It is a fan group, right? And that means people are there because they like these things. And fan is short for fanatic. Like, we are fanatic about, like, that is what that is.
Right.
It's like,
absolutely.
Okay, here's the analogy that I'll draw. You can believe in God. You cannot believe in God, right? But what you probably wouldn't want to do if you didn't believe in God is to walk into a church and start talking crap about people that believe in God, right? It's just it's a weird thing. Like, why would you go in there? Why would you even go there if that's what your intent is, right? Same thing with like this Facebook group. It's like, it is a Facebook group for people that love these toys. So if your whole purpose is to go in there,
that you joined, by the way, you joined.
Yeah, nobody made you. Nobody forced you to join it, right?
You willingly joined.
Right.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with people like in the community, and we've named people that we know that are just always negative about Mythic Legions. And I'm like, why are these people even in there for? Like, I could name them on my hand who they are. And it's just like they stick out themselves just because they're negative every time. Like,
I think Terrence is right. They're jive turkeys.
They're jive turkeys.
Jive turkeys
about mythics, and it's like, why are you here for? And if that makes me a white knight, then whatever. I mean,
I mean,
and I always hate the response. It's like, oh, you guys are in a cult. Like, I hate that. Like, man, for real? Like, now, come on, get out of here.
So I'll give you an example. So if somebody had a toy that broke, right, and they're like, man, I just got this out of the box and it broke and this sucks, and your response was, tough luck, or sorry, you probably did something wrong or whatever. Like, that's not it. Even if they may have done something wrong, it's not a cool response. Like, that's not a cool way to do it. Now, what you may say is, you may ask, hey, did you heat it up? Like, that's, and that's not necessarily just it's not that you're telling that person they did something wrong. It's like, hey, you may not know, but these figures, sometimes you need to heat them up before you start, articulating them. Have you contacted customer service? Once again, not an attack. It's just a question. Like, you may not know that they have a great customer service at Four Horsemen. And if you let them know what happened, odds are they're going to take care of you. Like, those are decent responses, but you don't have to, like, if somebody is defending the line and defending the company when it doesn't need to, because it's an actual issue, like, that doesn't need to happen either. And that's where I would say, like, the whatever you want to call it, white knighting or whatever, like we don't need that. We don't need you aggressively going after people that have legit problems.
No, right. But like, I think because we're friends with people in the studio, like, I've seen someone say, like, oh, customer service, like, Diego sucks because he didn't answer my email or whatever. It's like, I take it personal because I consider Diego a friend. So I'm going to defend him, but I would defend anyone that's my friend. And
I've seen some people go after certain YouTubers and stuff recently and say, well, you're biased because of this and you're biased because of that. And in fairness, we're all biased. Every one of us is biased. Like, the fact that we're even in a group that is about a single toy line means that you're biased. Like you joined this group because you like it, right? That is a bias.
Speak for yourself. They're just the best toys ever made. That's fact.
That's right. That's
Now, if
Some people just want to watch the world burn, you know? They
Yeah.
just want to.
now,
Look,
if that bias
look.
is from a point that
Oh,
you
go ahead.
actually are going to lie about something, like if I were to, take this figure and if I open this up and I go, man, this figure sucks. Like it the leg broke and the articulation's crap and the paint job is terrible. And then I came on here and I reviewed it and I said, this figure's amazing. It's the best figure in the whole world. That would be dishonesty, right? And so when you're sitting there saying that somebody is you can't, whatever, that their opinion is biased, be careful that you're not saying that they're being dishonest. Like that's different. Saying that somebody is dishonest because they're getting, they're friends with somebody or they're treated a certain way or whatever is different than saying they're biased. We're all biased though. It's just how much it affects you.
And then, I think it also comes down to like some people just want to complain and just want to be heard and like just want to be a troll. Like I opened my Ghost of Christmas Past. Okay. I was messing around with her. All I wanted to do was change out a hand, and I changed out a hand and her wrist broke. I didn't take a picture of it. I didn't jump on Facebook and like throw a fit. I just contacted Diego and I'm like, dude, I do not need a full figure. Like, I do not want you to send me a full figure. Can you just send me some hands? Like the wrist pegs broke. Like, that's all I need. Like, I don't feel the need to like jump on, but that's the same with anything. Like, like if I opened a G.I. Joe Classified series figure once and it came with the wrong accessories. The bag that was in there was the wrong, they didn't match the character. I contact customer service at Hasbro and they're like, we'll send you out a whole brand new figure. And I'm like, hey, that's fantastic. They sent me the wrong figure, but still I didn't go to Hasbro's like G.I. Joe page and like cause a big stink. It's just like, all right, this is how it is. I just don't have the accessories for that. So, I went and found them on eBay and I bought them. I don't feel the need to like jump out there and like make myself heard. It's like, I just deal with it. But some people are not like that. People are like, nope, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And I'm about to ruin everybody's day. And that's just, how they go about it. I don't understand that mentality because it's not how I think. But, it's just like, they're incapable of doing the right thing and moving on. They like, nope, I want to be heard. And it's like, all right, well, go be heard and good luck because, I remember something that stood out to me once. It's like, do you guys remember when like the Dixie Chicks like made a big stink about standing out against like President Bush at the time when that used to be the biggest thing they had to worry about?
Changed their name to the Chicks. They took out the Dixie.
And then they got completely lambasted. Like they got completely lambasted by their whole base turned against them. And I remember one time that Larry the Cable Guy came out and he was doing a special at the time. And he was like, he goes, you can't go in a trailer park and yell Walmart sucks without there being some repercussions.
Right.
And he was like, and while I don't agree with all of what he says, like he's absolutely correct. Like you went to the one place to get a stir out of people and you got a stir.
Yeah.
Like what did you think was going to happen by coming here and doing that? And that's why I think those people are not looking for constructive help. Like they're just wanting to watch the world burn. And so, hey, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
At some point, most likely their parents told them that they were special and their opinions mattered, and they lied, and they don't. So stop it.
Oh man, that's too much.
What really is interesting if you take a look, and when somebody is in the comments and they're doing this whole, this person's a bias, this person's a shill, this person's a white knight, whatever, you see them in the comments. Take a look at that click on that person's name and see what their posts are, and are they contributing anything? Like, have they made a post that is them sharing their artwork, them sharing a figure that they like, them telling somebody thanks for helping them out by getting them a figure at a convention? Or is it just them selling shit or complaining? Like, just take a look. Just take a look. Right. And then you know who you're dealing with. You know who you're talking to. Right?
A glimpse of that person.
Yeah, you just get an idea. Okay, this is because, there's a line there's a line in Rocky where Rocky's talking to the gangster, and he's got the guy that's driving him and stuff, and he tells they get into a fight, and the gangster tells Rocky, he's like that guy just hates. Some people just hate to hate, and that's it. Like, some people just hate to hate. They just they wake up in the morning looking for a reason to be angry, and for a man,
it's easy to find it.
Yeah, for a man that's on a mission to be miserable, there are plenty of paths to success. There are
oh yeah, I like that. Oh, so that's good. Who said that?
It's just a
Is that
thing.
Curtis original?
So, yeah,
it's
just
man,
a thing I say.
Writing that
down. It's
just
like, if you want to be miserable, you're going to find ways every single day. It's easy to be miserable. It's harder to actually be a decent human being and just find ways to enjoy life. So there you go.
It's a decision. That's a show closer.
All right. Well, before we close out the show, typically we do a little thing called lightning round. Normally that's where we would go to Dooch, who doesn't show up anymore, and ask him what the lightning round questions are. And when Dooch isn't here, then we would go to Jesse, who a lot of times isn't here anymore. But Jesse is here today. So now my question is, Jesse, do you have any lightning round questions for us?
I'm glad you asked, Curtis. I think sometimes we just need to not comment on stuff on Facebook.
Right.
Granted, you're an admin, you've got to deal with stuff. I'm not saying you specifically, just the general we.
Oh, there's a lot of shit I just scroll past, and I'm like, I'm not getting in that.
Hey, it's my turn. It's my turn. You should.
You brought me up as an example. I can't retort.
You've been retorting for 10 minutes straight. Let me say something. I've been waiting my turn because it's hard when there's 6 of us on here. If we all start talking, I don't want to talk over everybody. No one wants to talk.
Jesse, you have the patience of a saint.
I know.
Curtis is a retortus. Yeah.
The retortus.
Whoa, Joe, we don't say that here.
Yeah, we do.
I just scared him off the screen.
Yeah.
Retired?
I think, like I said, Curtis and the other admins, you have to deal with stuff. You have to address things. You have to comment on stuff. I'm not saying you specifically. I know you deal with way more stuff than any of us deal with. Stop looking around. You know I'm talking to you.
You can't be talking to me because I'm not allowed to respond. So you must be talking to other people.
I can talk to you without you responding. How did you raise children?
By me talking and them listening.
Is that right?
That's exactly right.
I need your secrets.
Sometimes, as people who are fans of stuff, we see things, and I'm not saying all situations, we see things that might come across as a complaint or a negative and take it the wrong way and go too far with our response. I think that's where the white knighting comes in. And some people that just want to have that pick me, notice me, I'm a fan kind of attitude. And like you said, the person who wants to be miserable is 100% going to find the way to be miserable. Like, that is, you want to get wet, you walk into a pool, done deal. Like, you don't want to get wet, don't go near the swimming pool. I remember one time I was in a summer camp, and we were teenagers, were playing in the pool, and these 2 parents or adult chaperones were sitting on the side with their legs dangling in the pool, and they're like, "Stop splashing, don't get us wet." And it's like, don't sit at the pool. Like, if you don't want to get wet, you don't want to get your hair messed up, go sit on the chairs where you're 15 feet away from the pool. Like, yeah, be in the group, have fun, enjoy the stuff. If you have a problem and you're like, hey, this thing is broken, I just want to point it out in case someone else has it, I have reported it to customer service. Yeah, there's definitely good ways and bad ways to be creative and supportive about this stuff without being a dick, whether you're being completely supportive or if you have a negative thing to say. You can say negative things without being an asshole. And as far as lightning round, Curtis, you can retort now.
I was just waiting for lightning round. I got nothing to say.
I didn't know we were going to lightning round, so I didn't have anything prepared yet.
Oh, I would say to back up what Jesse said. Yes, I would say 3 years ago, Curtis, when he saw somebody being a shithead in the cabal, he would reply back and be a shithead back to him, because 3 years ago, Curtis was very much a mirror. Whatever you gave him in terms of energy is what you got back in terms of energy. If you're nice to 3 years ago, Curtis, you get niceness back. You're shitty to 3 years ago, Curtis, you get shittiness back. And I've tried to change that, because when you do that, when you mirror other people's emotion, other people's intensity, you're basically letting them control you, right? So I've tried to not do that. Try not to let people have that power over me. Why should I give anybody the power to ruin my day? Why should I give anybody the power to make me upset, or, make me spend time, doing things or thinking about things that I don't want to do or think about, right? So yeah, sometimes you just have to, scroll on, and that doesn't mean, ignore situations, because there's certain times where, people are being treated unfairly and you need to step up and say something. But if it's just somebody being an asshole, sometimes you just move on.
I think it protects your own mental health. Like if you just scroll on, let people spout and say whatever, and then just keep on going. Like, don't let it affect you in a negative way. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I just, that's their mindset. I'm not going to change their mindset. If I feel like there's something that I need to defend, I'll say something, but usually I'll just keep going, because it's not worth, getting myself worked up and pissed off for the day.
Well, and
the other thing too is, like, I don't know if you've ever been in a fight with a spouse, but there is nothing that makes somebody more angry than the more that they yell, kick, and scream, and you're just as completely calm and collected as possible.
Tell
that
them to
just
calm
drives
down.
I get into those fights all the time. It's not my spouse.
He's going around starting shit with other people's spouses.
It's usually Curtis.
No, man. I mean,
your show spouse.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I just grew up with such a thick skin, because I've always been fat and I've always been picked on. I grew up with extremely thick skin. I also happen to be a designer and an artist for my professional job. So again, being, having my work critiqued on a microscopic level every single day, of my life. I used to work in advertising, and it was even worse. And so I don't know. I've just developed extremely thick skin. Like, there's only one person on this planet that can get two. There's my oldest son and my wife. They're the only two that can get under my skin and just drive me completely batshit insane. Everybody else is just, man, there's literally nothing you can say to, like, get me insane. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, I don't know. I hear you, Curtis. I understand about matching somebody's energy. I cannot let, okay, he's having some fun. I just can't let people, like, have that, like you said, that control over me. It's just like,
yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Well, and for me, and this is opening up Curtis time. For me, I spent a good portion of my life trying to make other people happy with me, right? Like getting other people's approval, mostly my stepdad. When I was young, my actual father left when I was like 2. My stepdad came in the situation. He already had a kid from his previous marriage, and then him and my mom had a kid, which was my sister. And so we grew up in a house with my mom, my stepdad, and my sister. She was a child of both of them. I was not. And so I always felt like I had to work harder to get his approval, right? I spent my whole life basically doing that. And that translated into then, after, moving out and doing my own thing, working hard to get every boss's approval and every coworker's approval and every, once I got into management, every team member's approval. And, then you get onto social media and you're trying to make everybody like you there. And you know what you eventually realize is, just be a good person, and it doesn't matter. If people like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. But don't judge your self-worth based on whatever somebody else thinks about you. Now you can take feedback from somebody and use it to get better. I try to do that every day. Like when I get into a disagreement with somebody, I never leave a disagreement going, I'm 100% right and they're 100% wrong. I leave any disagreement that I have with somebody going, what could I have done differently? How can I be better next time? Right. And that's it. I just try to be a better person, just try to keep working at it. But if I do all of that, I do everything I can do, and I try to live a good life, and I try to be kind to people, and somebody still hates me, then they just hate me. Like,
That's on
you know,
them.
that's
Right.
it, you know,
Yeah.
That's their problem.
you just can't let that affect you. So, and it's easier said than done. It takes a lot of work for sure. I mean, shit, I'm, 47 years old, and it's taken me till now to just get somewhat comfortable with that. And even now I still rant and rave every now and then. So
Every now and then.
every Friday.
Yeah, I was going to say every Friday.
But one thing I don't do is judge my self-worth based on what other people think,
Right.
So
You don't need someone else to validate you.
yep, for sure. All right. That was
Lightning
deep
round?
thoughts.
Were we
Yeah.
lightning rounding or no?
Yeah,
Or is this
Deep
lightning
talks
round?
with Jack Handy.
exactly. Jesse, what do you got for us?
Starting with Curtis, working our way around up to Mark. So
Does that mean I'm allowed to talk when I'm first?
Now, see, I feel like you're overcompensating there, Curtis.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Oh, that's got to be pizza. Yeah. Yeah, pizza.
Schmerb?
A certain kind of pizza, or
I mean, I'll like just about any pizza. There's a few different places around here. The best pizza is New Jersey pizza, though. But yeah,
I need to try that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say nacho cheese Doritos with a Pepsi. That's me.
Okay. Dylan?
Korean barbecue.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Joe?
Reese's peanut butter cups, but like the holiday ones, like
Yes,
an egg
sir.
or a
Yes,
tree
sir.
or something like that. I
My
actually
brother.
sometimes will eat 3 of them right before I go to bed because I sleep better.
Is it because of the ratio in the specialty ones that there's more peanut butter? Is that
Yes, that's exactly what it is, and it doesn't have like those weird spikes from the paper. The
Oh, the
cup.
spikes are great.
I was telling my
No,
fiance yesterday about the
those
Reese's.
aren't bad. It's just not comforting.
Like for Easter, she's like, "I'll get you a big Reese's whatever," and I'm like, "Don't get one that's too big because it changes the ratio and the flavor of the peanut butter. Get the smaller ones, Don't get like the giant, 5
the peanut
pound-
butter becomes too
No, get the
too
5
dry.
pound one. Those ones are great.
I mean, I'm like, I'll eat it, but
The trees, the eggs, the pumpkins, those are the hearts, those are the best.
Yes.
When they don't have one of those out, I found, is it the jumbo cup where it's like the 2 mega ones?
Yes.
Big
like
cup.
those are the closest ratio.
The
I
ones
hate
they
the
have,
tiny.
the ones they
Oh,
have
the
right
tiny
now
ones are
with,
terrible.
like dark chocolate, like sauce in them or whatever.
It's all
I like
about the
those.
ratio, I think. The ratio.
Yeah, they have
is
lava
right with the
cake
holiday
ones now.
Yeah, but
They just came out with peanut butter and jelly ones.
What?
I
Is that
buy
for real?
Yeah, there's a grape and a strawberry
Question,
jelly
Mark,
Reese's cup.
what is your favorite comfort food?
Oh, I need to know about this peanut butter and jelly. I don't know about you.
I found them at Walmart.
I'm with Curtis. It's pizza 100%. Like, oh man, I struggle with my weight, and right now I'm on a GLP-1 injection, and I'm doing like weight loss, and I'm trying to walk every day, and I'm trying to do my best. It's like I've had bariatric surgery like 4 or 5 years ago now, and I'm down a lot. But I still struggle with my weight. And dude, like honestly, like we got a pizza tonight because it's Friday. We always get takeout pizza on Friday nights, and like there's nothing more I would rather do than just go lay in bed, watch Netflix, and just put that whole pizza to rest. Like just knock that joker out. But a couple things keep that from happening. One, I have a very small stomach. I can't eat a lot at a single time. Like I could eat a lot throughout the day, but I can't eat a lot at once. The most I can eat's like 2 slices. But yeah, man, I would just, if left to my own devices, Dude, I would just be like, just bring that pizza to my face. Like, I just love pizza so much. Like, it's so good. Favorite kind? Barbecue chicken. It's my favorite pizza.
Ooh,
It's pretty good.
interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Baked mac and cheese with that panko
Oof.
bread or whatever the hell it's called on top.
Oh yeah, that's a good one,
That's-
Jesse.
I mean, pizza's right up there with it. Burgers, tacos, but baked mac and cheese, like homemade baked mac and cheese, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anybody who's has become super serious about losing weight will probably tell you that they lose their relationship with food. And I've like completely lost my whole relationship with food. Like food's just, it is now, I don't eat really to enjoy stuff. I just kind of eat to live. Really
Right.
is kind of what it is. And I know that sounds sad and depressing, and it's really not. I mean, not for me, it's not. It's just not something that is a big concern of me. I have to watch what I eat, and I get to have pizza and like have cheat nights and all that kind of stuff. But between not having a big like stomach to like fill, but not only that, but like with taking injections, which I do every week, it also severely decreases your appetite. And so like I may eat one big meal a day and that's it. And then the other times it's like I just graze. It's like I pick a little here, pick a little there. I just don't have the same, so it really gets me out of a lot of conversations with my wife. And she's like, what do you feel like eating tonight? Literally nothing. I do not care. Like it does not matter. And now she lets me skate on that. Used to, she's like, why aren't you being helpful? And now she's like, no, I get it. You don't have a taste for anything. I get it. And so it's just kind of gotten me out of that conversation. Now I'm just like, whatever you guys feel like, I'm good. Like,
Yeah, see, I'm not a picky eater at all, and I think it's because I see eating as an inconvenience. I don't like to eat. I don't like having to eat. Most of the time, it's like I'm so hungry that I have to eat, but I don't like to.
Yeah, but you've got cigarettes, so
I do have cigarettes, but I didn't always have cigarettes. I didn't come out of the womb. I wasn't just like
what were you 8? Joe was working in the mines at like 12 years old.
I was 16
Dude, I just
when I
thought you were
started
born with
smoking
that
and 18
sultry
when I
voice.
started at the mine. But no, I just some people, and that's always been like a weird thing because people will have these big conversations about food, and I didn't even learn how to cook until I was 38, I think. So yeah, I get it.
Oh my god.
No, that's going to be a big no for me. That's a big no.
Doesn't look right.
I gotta try that. I mean,
They were okay.
I think it'll probably be bad, but I gotta try it.
I want to try it.
No.
Yeah,
It
for sure.
tasted like Goobers, the peanut butter and jelly in the same jar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
And that's some of the most foul stuff
Goobers.
I've ever had.
Yeah,
I like
Goobers.
it. I used to eat it
like
right
that.
out of the jar with a spoon.
The strawberry one was better than the grape.
Joe, I don't have a relationship with food. I really don't like eating. I used to eat Goobers out of the jar.
No, but that's the thing. It was a convenience thing, right? Because I don't like eating. I didn't want to sit down and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Two food
grab
groups
the
right
jar
here
and
in
just
one
eat it with
jar.
a
You know,
spoon.
just because we're having this conversation, I'm gonna make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That actually sounds pretty good, Dylan. I think I will too.
I need to try one of those things. What is it? Was it Crustables?
Uncrustables.
Yeah,
I love
I've never
Uncrustables.
had one of those, but
You're good, man.
I just had one. I just started getting them for the first time like a month ago, and I like them. But I think there's something weird in the bread because my mouth, like I always have like a weird taste in my mouth for like a day after I eat them. So I don't.
The gummy part of it. I think it's because they're frozen, and then you let them defrost. And I enjoyed them more if I popped them in the toaster for like a minute, and got a little bit of like get some of that moisture out of the bread. That's the way I
in
like
the air fryer.
Air fryers didn't exist when I was eating those.
Yeah,
That's how long
that's true.
ago that
That's
was.
true.
Fun fact about Mark: I did not have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich until I met my wife when I was like 25 or 26. My mom never made peanut butter and jelly.
Where are you
sandwiches
from?
when I was a kid.
England?
That's crazy.
Yeah, no. I grew up in Southern Illinois, man. I don't know if that was a thing. I have no idea. Like, I never had one. Like, I always heard people talk about them. I never had one until I met my wife.
Did
She
she
was like,
think that you had a
literally,
peanut allergy or something?
no. I know. I love peanut butter. I had peanut. No, like growing up, my mom would make peanut butter and banana sandwiches, and I had those all the
What?
time. But
That
peanut
was my
butter and banana
favorite thing
make me.
growing up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. You get you a good hot dog bun and just make you a banana dog. Come on, that's killer.
What?
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
jelly.
No,
Whoa. Come on.
No.
You gotta roll
It's
that
just
one back.
bread.
no.
A banana dog.
Get a hot dog bun. If you like peanut butter and banana sandwiches, if you don't, this is not going to appeal to you. Get a hot dog bun. Put peanut butter on that, and then put a banana on it. It fits. It's the same.
If you
shape
don't
as
like a peanut butter banana sandwich, this is not going to appeal to you.
it's not going to appeal.
Nope.
That's right.
Nope.
Did Greg
Listen,
throw up? What happened?
piece
to
of
Greg?
toast,
It says
peanut
it
butter,
says the device is
sliced banana
disconnected.
on top of the peanut butter, and then raisins on top of that.
I've never had a peanut butter and banana sandwich, so I can't tell you whether I would
What?
like it or not. But
Never.
I've never even thought of that as
Never.
being a combo of things to have together.
And wasn't there wasn't that one of Elvis's like favorite
Yep.
meals? It was
Yeah,
like
I've heard
toast,
that.
Peanut
but I
butter,
thought-
banana, and bacon.
banana and toast. Oh, and bacon. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
I
Dylan, what
honestly
was
thought that
sandwich
was
you said with
only
the raisins again?
an Elvis thing. That was the peanut butter and banana. I didn't know that was a thing that like real
I
people.
think his mom
ate.
made
Yeah.
it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What'd you say,
I know
Jesse?
that there's a restaurant in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a restaurant, a famous hamburger joint called Pinky's. It used to be a VW Volkswagen garage, and they still have a pink Volkswagen on the roof. But now it's like this really famous burger joint. I think it was on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives once, and they have a hamburger called the Presley. And it is a hamburger with bacon, peanut butter, and banana. And like I've seen people eat it, but I refuse. Like
That sounds kind of good, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about the
Yeah, I can't.
banana, but peanut butter on a burger is not bad.
Yeah.
Jesse's gonna puke. It's
Hey,
like
this is
putting
how Jesse
pineapple on a
started
burger.
tonight.
It's good.
I mean, Jesse, you did open it up by asking that question. So
Comfort food. I didn't ask for like in-depth details about all the weirdest shit people have ever eaten.
It's not even the weirdest.
That was way more aggressive than it needed to be. I'm just really grossed out at the moment.
this
Not-
was
Not a judgment.
somebody sent me this. They said this is their reaction to peanut butter and banana sandwiches. So there you go. I think that's a no from Greg.
Perfect.
So
That's a no for me, dog.
yeah, no for me, dog. All right, lightning round.
Where's those
That's
goats
sheep.
coming from?
It's
Yeah, where's
whatever
the-
sound effect Jesse has going on.
Oh, understandable.
Okay.
Where those
We'll just
goats
wait.
coming from? Sometimes Greg says the most t-shirt worthy things. And I just make a list. Like I got a list, and that's going on it. Where's those goats coming from?
There's a herd going through someone's basement.
I'm dying.
Starting with Mark. Or no, we'll give him a moment. We'll start with Joe and
No, I'm
go
good. I'm
backward
good.
towards Curtis. All right, we'll start with Mark and go around. What is your biggest fear and why?
Dang. What is my biggest fear and why? I'm not going to say death. That's too easy. And honestly, I don't really fear death. I've got 3 kids, and I kind of feel like my job here is done. I put 3 wonderful human beings into the world, and I can go in peace. So I'm not going to say death. My biggest fear, I can tell you where I think a situation that if I was in, I would probably have a heart attack and die, is being lost at sea, floating in the ocean, no land in sight at night. I would probably have a heart attack and die on the spot. That's probably my greatest curse. He said he was done. I don't know. That's probably not what you're asking. Like I'm sure you want me to say spiders or something like that. I don't know. But like being like
No.
just in the ocean. First of all, I'm deathly afraid of the ocean. I'm terrified of sharks. At night when I can't see like anything, forget about it. I would have a heart attack and die. My wife always says that she's like, if I fell off like like 100-story building, she's like, I'm gonna have a heart attack and die before I hit the floor because she's like, I'm terrified of falling. And so, yeah, dude, that's it. I would probably just die right there and I would. They're like, he didn't even drown, guys. Like we checked, he didn't drown. Like he just had a heart attack and died.
Hopefully.
Okay. Joe?
He was in 3 feet of water. He didn't even check.
Wasn't in the ocean. It was just a puddle in the parking lot.
Wait, isn't
His
that
bathtub,
how
yeah.
the guy from Unbreakable dies in Glass? Isn't he drowned in a puddle?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, he had one weakness, and it was water. Yep.
Spoiler alert. I haven't watched it, Dylan. Jeez,
That
you
movie
jerk.
came out like 10 years ago.
You
Yeah.
came out like 10 years ago. Shut up.
That's not the point.
Good night. Good night, everybody. That won't be beat.
Stop saying that after I make a joke.
That will not be beat.
Let's see. My greatest fear is probably saying any fear that I have in front of Curtis because I will never hear the end of it ever. It'll be in every group chat, every day, every show that I'm on with him. Shows that I'm not on, he'll be talking about my fears.
Joe doesn't have fears because he doesn't have weaknesses, and he's
That's
never
my-
cried in his life.
Right.
My
He's a
greatest
Shogun
fear
warrior.
is Curtis having something that he can wield against me. There it is.
I would say
Dylan.
fear of losing your mustache, Joe.
It'll find me again.
Being alone.
Aww.
Like,
Hug.
yeah. Like Twilight Zone, Last Man on Earth, alone. Like, that's
my
definitely
favorite
my
episode.
biggest fear. But I also have a tiny bit of thalassophobia, which is fear of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Vecna
little
coming
bit
to
of
you.
that dark water. I don't want to be near that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I heard one time that God, where was it that I heard this? But it was like your greatest somebody said you're not afraid of being alone in the woods at night. You're afraid of not being alone in the woods at night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought I was like, "Oh, that's dope." Cuz that's right.
Mhm.
Like you're afraid of if you're alone, you're fine, right? But you're
Mhm.
not really afraid of being alone. You're afraid of somebody else
True.
being there with you. So,
Well, I'll just say this real quick, Dylan, because since we don't know how to play lightning round, anyways, you control that, buddy.
I know.
Keep showing up, and you're never alone because it's not like the rest of us got anything going on. We're not living these super fulfilled lives that we're just
Right.
busy all the time. Keep coming.
Speak for yourself.
yeah, but I know what he means. I mean,
I'll always
like
be here for you,
there's
Dylan. I'll always be here
there's
for you.
a there's a
every-
hole in everybody's heart that
Every
we
day
can't
of the
fill.
week, there is a freaking show from this community, and you can take part in every one. So if you're ever alone, it's because you choose to be. Because we want you around, Dylan. You little bastard.
You little bastard.
Monkey.
You know
Thanks,
what fills in
guys.
the holes of your heart?
We love you, you asshole.
Peanut butter.
What a great.
Schmerber, what are you afraid of and why?
Minor fear was always spiders.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Yeah, mayonnaise.
That's me.
Absolutely.
That's
but,
me.
I think as I get older
It's
and
not a fear.
closer to dying, it's not dying, it's eternity. Like my simple monkey brain can't wrap the thought of having consciousness forever or not. Just the thought of that like scares the crap out of me. Like, what am I going to do forever? Am I going to be around forever? Is there an end to that? Like, I can't mentally grasp that thought of, it's okay. Dying is the easy part, but like what happens
New
after?
to Mythics Eternia.
It's just like, if you just sit and think about it, it's like, you know, what are we going to be doing forever? You know, is our
New to Mythics.
Is exactly is like our is time different after we die? Like, you know, like insects, their time or concept of time would be different than ours. Their lifespans are different than ours. You know, like is the concept of time
It's all the
different?
same, Terrence.
Is it different? Yeah, I agree. So just like thinking about that, like what's after and what am I going to do for the whole, you know, because there's no shows, there's no mythic legions, there's no, you know, what am I going to do?
I've never heard this concept before. That I've never heard somebody put it like that. Like they're not afraid of dying; they're afraid of existing forever in some form. I've never heard that. That's wild.
I want to surfboard and I want to surf the cosmos. Like I want to do something after.
How
Surfer.
about this, Greg? Since
Silver
we're
Schmerber?
talking about
Silver Schmerber.
how's this for a fear? What
Schmerber
if
surfer?
your consciousness is attached to your body, right? So when you die, your body stops working, but your consciousness is still there. And a bunch of people are putting you in a box and putting you in the ground, and you're just screaming inside your head.
It's a freaking nightmare.
To let me
Wow.
out.
Well, I'm not going to
And-
sleep tonight.
Yeah, no shit.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, come on, guys.
Isn't
That's
that
just a fun
isn't
exercise.
that
It's not
the
true.
Yeah, fun
That's
exercise.
the concept of
Okay.
the book. Johnny got his gun, right? Like that's the whole purpose, right, of that premise of that book, right? Is that the guy came back from Vietnam and he couldn't walk or talk or hear or see, but he was awake and conscious, but he
Metallica
couldn't do
won.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a Metallica
one,
song too,
right?
right?
You know.
Yeah, just I don't know. It just it creeps me out. Like if my brain will just keep thinking about that, and it's I'd rather not. I'd rather be surprised.
Okay.
Surprise me,
Curtis,
Cosmos.
biggest fear and why?
So I as well as Mark have a fear of the ocean and sharks and stuff, but it's real easy to just stay away from that. Just don't go to the ocean. I will never go on a cruise. I don't go to, you know, the coast. I don't have to worry about it. So that one, even though it is a big fear, is not the one that I worry about, you know, on a regular basis. The one that just like, yeah, I can't deal with is having something crawling on or under my skin like that. So like I don't mind, like, you know, like you see like these videos from like Australia where they've got like these huge spiders and stuff. That doesn't do anything. I don't like it. It's gross, but it doesn't like, I hate like ants, like little tiny bugs that you can't like they could be on you and you don't even know they're on you. And even like further than that, like, you know, you start like, I won't even watch a video on like microorganisms and different things like that are living on your body. Like, dude, like just fucking, man, you know,
You
just
definitely shouldn't go in the ocean then.
dude. Yeah. So something like that. And which is also the reason why I would never do meth, because, you know, I hear, you know, sometimes those folks, like they start feeling like there's things crawling on their skin and they start like that's why they got the scabs and stuff. Like, dude, nope. That is the biggest one for me, is just anything crawling on or under my skin would not be good. So
Everybody at LegionsCon, make sure and give Curtis the
What if
spider
it's Lincoln
fingers on his
Park?
back.
I'm gonna do that with my toes.
I'm the thinking about infinity and, you know, existing beyond Schmerber is definitely one that has come into my mind at times when I'm trying to go to sleep and then I can't, and then I'm just shook, just like, yeah. Spiders, I have an irrational, like, paralyzing fear of spiders. But my greatest fear is the ocean. I can go on a cruise, I can go to the shore, but I'm terrified of the ocean just because to me, it's more unknown than infinity.
Right.
Mainly
I was
because
gonna make
there's
that
so much
parallel.
shit in the ocean, like this
Ooh.
frickin' thing.
That's a real thing.
Yes.
That's a real fish with frickin' human teeth. Like, why is it like, crikey, I'm gonna go down to the pub for some fish and chips.
They're not human teeth. They're fish teeth. But yes.
I tell you what, that fish has got better
Right.
teeth than most of the
Dylan
people in
doesn't get to
Missouri.
talk anymore.
So
Those are
Missouri.
disgusting. There's too many rows of them, and that's probably the least frightening thing I can pull up from the ocean off the top of my head.
The other thing that bugs me about the ocean is like when you see these movies, like when like a ship wrecks or something, and like people are just like stranded, like floating.
I like when they wake up and they're on
and you
land.
don't know.
Like, no, you would have died. You don't wake up on land. You
Yeah.
don't fall asleep in the ocean. Guess what? You're dead.
But like
You don't
imagine
asleep
that,
and then
like
wake
just
up on land. That
imagine wading in the water and like you look around, in every direction you look around, it's just water. Like there's no boats, there's no land, there's no it's just like, dude, fuck that. Yeah.
Terrence, I'm not worried about them eating me or being in their mouths. I'm just worried about existing in the same space that they are. I would literally, when I heard about Jaws as a kid, I didn't see the movie till I was a teenager. I would hear about Jaws. My brothers would try to freak me out because that's what brothers who are 10 plus years older than you do, right? Mm-hmm. Right, Dylan? Right? Dylan? You're right? Yeah, not the other way around. You don't get to freak me out.
Oh, man.
I would literally have dreams that I would fall into my brother's National Geographic books that were just like the pages of like the ocean with like a dozen different sharks across each page. And I would like swim to the edge of the page and it would flip and it would just be further down in the ocean. Yeah. No, thank you.
So mine came from like an actual experience. When I was about 10 years old, my family had, well, no, it was like I was 12. That's when it was. We had just moved from Illinois and we'd moved down to Mississippi. And it was the closest we'd ever been to an ocean. And so my parents, we drove down to Gulfport, Mississippi, and we went swimming for the first time in the ocean. I had not seen Jaws at this point. I had no idea. I had no concept of sharks being in the water and didn't have this idea that there would be something in the water that could eat me. And we swam out pretty far. Me and my dad, my mom was like, nope, not getting in the water. And so me and my dad swam out pretty far. We used to have those old buoys that had like the bells on them, like an actual bell, you know? So we were trying to swim out to that thing. And my dad, like I couldn't do it. So I couldn't make it. So I was just like treading water, but my dad swam out and was like ringing the buoy and he was coming back to me and like a shark fin came up between the two of us. And my dad freaked out. Like the color just ran out of his face. I'll never forget it. And then it went under my feet and my feet were like rubbing across its back. And I remember exactly the way it felt. Shark skin is super smooth one way, but if you rub across it the other way, it feels like sandpaper, like a cat's tongue. It's real smooth and then it's prickly the other way. And I remember feeling that because I was like, my feet were going back and forth across its back. And then it like came up. Then the people on the beach started freaking out. The guy in the chair, which I didn't know was like really a lifeguard, and he was looking out for everybody, started freaking out, blowing a whistle and waving a flag. And then everybody was like getting out of the water. It was probably like a 3 or 4 foot like reef shark, probably not going to bother anybody, but you still get out of the water anyway. But as a kid, to me, that thing felt like a 40-foot great white shark. That thing felt enormous. I was terrified. And then when my parents were trying to explain to me what a shark was, like what a legit, like, you know, why this was like a dangerous thing. Yeah. I saw Jaws and like that was it, dude. I was like, oh, was that what was in the ocean? That was not what was in the ocean, but in my brain that it could have been, right? Dude, I couldn't take baths as a kid. Like I was taking showers from that point on. I was like, I could not be submerged in water and forget diving in a swimming pool. Like every time I dove into a pool, I like in my mind, I would see that I was diving into the mouth of a shark in my mind. Like
Yep.
I could not fathom it. And so to this day, I am still deathly afraid of sharks. Now we go to the beach because we're really close to it. We're only about an hour away from the beach now, hour and a half maybe. We take our kids sometimes, and I always tell them, I always make the same joke.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. I always make the same joke. If a shark gets you, like, I love you. We had a really good time together, but I am not coming after you. Like, you are on your own. Poke him in the eye, punch him in the nose, get away. Like, good luck. But my wife will always, I'm like, I'm not getting in. And she'll drag me out there. And, like, there I am waiting in the ocean. And I just feel like, when a shark is coming to land and he's looking at everybody, he's like, scrawny kid, scrawny kid, scrawny kid, Mark. I think if I eat that guy, I'm good for the rest of the day. And I don't have to catch anything else. And I know that I'm top on their list. So, no, man,
I remember one
I'm
time we
good.
were at the beach and I waded into the water and I was kind of looking around. I was probably waist deep. And I was looking at other people in the water, and I looked down, and I thought it was like a grocery bag, but it was a giant jellyfish, and it hit my belly, dude. I was like trying to Scooby Doo out of that water. Like I turned around, and the jellyfish is like following the current behind me as I'm trying to I'm trying to get out of the water. No, man, nah, stay out of that water.
Yeah.
The ocean is not our domain. Stay out of there.
Yeah.
It's not for us, you know?
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's
Talking
also
about
just the biggest toilet in the world. So
Watching Jaws.
California, the West Coast oceans are...
Watching Jaws as a kid and watching Jaws as an adult, for me, was two very different experiences. It's scary when I was young, and watching it as an adult, that movie is hilarious. Like sharks don't eat boats and stuff, and like the dude
Quinn,
sliding into its mouth and stuff.
Quinn was a stud. Robert Shaw.
It's funny. It's badass. Funny as an adult.
The crazy part is that's still the best shark movie ever made.
My
but
girlfriend
you can pick it apart and it's pretty goofy.
Loves like bad shark horror movies. It's like one of her things, you know. And she gets mad.
Shallows is the best shark movie.
You have an argument there. The Shallows is really good.
Yeah.
And I try to watch those movies with her, and there's so many that are just like sharks can't swim backwards. And you'll be surprised how many times. And like when I see it in a movie, that just kind of ruins it for me, you know? Because like the sharks they're doing all like these precision turns and backing up and to like ram into things. And it's just really silly and not at all realistic. And that doesn't, I don't know. To me, that's not frightening.
Yeah, Blake, did you have a machine gun though? I mean,
he had a knife in his teeth, I'm sure.
And a machine gun.
Sharks worry about Blake biting them. That's right. The kind
Blake
of
is becoming or is already the what's his name? The guy that doesn't do push-ups, he just pushes the earth down.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. He's the Chuck Norris of the
Blake
Legions
is
community.
more man than I'll ever be. I salute Blake. That guy is a stud.
While we were going through that, I realized that both Jesse and I shared a dislike of the ocean. And then I was like, man, I hope that Joe doesn't use this against us in D&D. You know,
I didn't think about it.
I can handle it.
That is a great idea. Yeah.
You guys agreed on
I'm like that.
I can handle the ocean in D&D. I can't handle mayo on any level.
I'm with you, my man. Me too. No mayo.
Because at least in D&D, I can blame the dice if I do poorly. If it's the real world, it's my fault.
So, a sea of mayo, you're saying, in Dungeons.
Yes, my actual greatest fear is that we do a lightning round in lightning time.
Like do it the way it's supposed to be done. Yeah, don't worry.
You'd have one guest, maybe.
I didn't say it was a practical fear. It's just no. All right. Do we want a hypothetical question lightning round?
Don't use big words.
Not. The question is a hypothetical question, not a round of. Okay.
Whatever you want.
If you could meet any historical figure, who would it be? They don't have to be dead, but they could be dead. Kind of like our This Week in Theaters. You either go back and meet them, or them when they were alive gets to meet you. It doesn't have to make sense. We'll start with Dylan and go Schmerb, Curtis, Mark, Joe.
That's a good question.
Schmerber, you're up.
Yeah, come back to me.
I don't know. I've always been fascinated by Joan of Arc. I think that would be fascinating to.
Do you speak enough French?
No.
You don't have to analyze it that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I just was always like I would go to the library.
That's not the part he's fascinated about, Curtis.
Would you want to meet Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Joan of Arc, or Mia Jovovich's The Messenger Joan of Arc?
The Messenger, for sure.
Okay.
That movie is so incredible. One of my top 10 favorite
is.
films of all time. Luc Besson made perfect movie.
Yeah,
great movie.
Just her conviction and everything. Just
nice.
Anyways.
Curtis.
Man.
He's at least making noises.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna just go with my childhood idol, which was
I was gonna
Bo
say
Jackson.
myself.
So
was who?
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just most unbelievable athlete I've ever seen in my life, and just kind of pick his brain and what some of the behind the scenes, like how he got to where he was, and yeah, I just think it would be interesting. So I'm sure there's better answers, but that was the first thing that popped in my head.
That's a good one.
That's fine. All right, Dylan, we'll circle back to you real quick. Any thoughts yet?
Yeah, it would be Marion C. Cooper, the creator of the original King Kong.
Okay. Nice. Mark?
Oh man, this one's a really tough one because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go to bed tonight. I'm going to wake up at 2 a.m. because I have to go pee,
Right.
and I'm going to think of the most perfect answer, and it's going to be like, why didn't I say that? Like that was the. But I'm going to have to go. I'm kind of on the spot on this one. I'm going to have to go with probably Tolkien. Man, what I wouldn't give to
one.
Sit in a pub somewhere in England, the smell of pipe smoke, around, and just having a pint with that dude and just hearing stories, whether he made them up or not, like his stories or other things that happened to him in his life, probably that'd be great.
I thought of a better answer, by the way. But
better than Bo Jackson?
Yeah, way better than Bo Jackson. So, but I can either go now.
Joe still needs some time, so go ahead.
It would be there's this one guy. He does this YouTube channel, Saturday Morning Toy Collector. He does this thing called Meet the Collector, and if somehow I got to be a big enough deal that I got to sit down with him and do one of those,
maybe one day.
But I mean,
maybe
from your lips to God's ears, So that would be, yeah. Mark would be.
All right, Curtis.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We'll do it one day this week. I need somebody for next Friday, so you got it, buddy.
Do it right now.
All
right, Joe.
What was the first figure you ever bought?
Don't get him started. Don't encourage him.
So for me, this was a tough one. I really had to think about it because I love quotes. So there's so many wise people that I look up to over the course of history that have incredible wise quotes. And none of them are Curtis. But I think if I had to pick just one person, to meet, I think it would be Marie Curie, because at a time when women weren't really doing science, she didn't discover radioactivity, but her research was pioneering understanding radioactivity. And I would just love to not about the research, but what was going on, and just incredibly intelligent and a woman, and to me that would just be super interesting to pick her brain about what brought her to that point to do. I know her husband was a really incredibly talented scientist too, but I don't know. I just think that Marie Curie is a really interesting historical character that I would like to know more about.
Good answer, Joe.
I mean, I'm kind of cool too. Just saying.
No, not really. I mean,
Yeah, but
not like
Someone
Marie.
else being cool and interesting does not negate you're cool and interesting.
It does
you
what Joe
negated
just
that
said
all
that
by
I was-
yourself.
that I'm not cool and interesting.
No, he said your quotes weren't the quotes.
I'm just
he's
giving
talking
Curtis a hard time. I freaking love that dude. Come on, man. Curtis is great. It's just really fun to give him a hard time because he gives so many other people a hard time.
That's
Joe,
right.
Joe hates me, and I have proof. Last week for the telethon, Joe was on every single stream except for the Art by Ackerman one. He said, "Fuck you, I'm not joining."
I showed up.
Oh.
It was just towards the end. If I had to pick one to sleep during, and I was like, Curtis doesn't need me because he's got 10 million subscribers. So
That's good.
I feel like I'm on a marathon. I'm so tired.
The show that'll never end. I don't know. I want to know.
I am just up so late past my bedtime.
Yeah, this is it. We're done. Unless
Jesse has to go.
We gotta get Jesse's, and then. But I mean, this
Dylan too. Dylan hasn't. Did you do one, Dylan?
Oh,
Not yet,
Dylan
right?
passed twice, didn't he?
No, he did the King Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I forgot. Sorry.
I forgot because it's a bullshit answer, but yeah.
See, and that's
King
why I
Kong.
like to give Curtis shit. That
He
right
loves
there.
King Kong. You know, that's cool.
Noah. Like Noah's
Pratt?
Ark, Noah.
Oh.
No.
I love Noah Pratt.
What a guy, I mean, Noah Pratt's pretty cool too.
I've met Noah Pratt. He is really cool, but just, I mean, wrangling all those animals, like, and I mean, granted, he had to be on the ocean for, however long. That's that part of it.
Jesse's like, "Hey Noah, how do I wrangle all those animals? I'd like to have a bunch of those."
No, look. Ever since I've been a kid, like animals have always been one of my biggest fascinations. Like I love animals, not in like a weird, inappropriate Stephen Bisciotti way. Like they're just interesting. I wanted to be a vet at one point, or some sort of zoologist or something. And just this, if you take that story at face value, and that every living thing that was alive on the planet at that time got onto that vessel, I mean, that's impressive. Like, all right, how do you take care of all of them? Whatever. Plus leading up to it, like everybody's walking by like, dude, you're freaking nuts. And he's just like, like who wouldn't want to be around that? I guess most people, but
Did you see the Darren Aronofsky film?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you think of it? Did you like it?
It's intriguing. I also read the graphic novel that was kind of like what they did first, and like there's parts of the graphic novel I like better, and there's parts of the movie I like better. And then there's some things that they took some definite liberties with, the biblical telling of the story, but then there's some things that they nailed in there that there was no reason to get that specific for some of the details that they did in that, which I thought was really fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was beautifully shot. I mean, visually, it's a beautiful film.
There's also Evan Almighty. Same thing.
Kind of.
Okay.
I hate that movie. I'm sorry.
And the more I think about it now, I'm like, man, like there's so many. Yeah, like I have a huge list in my head now of like I
I know.
couldn't
I
think
was
of a
thinking
single one
Bob
a minute ago,
Lazar
but
for
now.
me. Bob Lazar.
Now you're just thinking about me, right? I can see it.
Yeah.
All right. With that, Joe, where can people find you, sir?
Right here, each and every Friday night. I will be on Ostramis Clubhouse tomorrow evening with Schmerb Sunday morning.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yes.
I thought it was this Sunday.
I'm
okay.
sorry.
That's
Easter
all right,
Sunday.
man.
Remember? Easter Sunday.
Easter's not this week?
Nope. This is Palm Sunday.
Oh, well, shoot.
Damn
I'm
it, Joe.
on.
Passover is this week.
Are you free next
Joe's-
Sunday, Joe?
Joe's like, I was
Yeah.
looking for the Reese's.
I was.
Joe looks like how I feel right now. I just wanted to point that out.
I'm not
He
sure
looks
exactly.
the way I
Handsome.
I'm
and
not sure how
Yeah,
to take
you
that.
you
are.
can take it however you want. I just you look exhausted. I feel exhausted.
Yeah,
Like,
I was exhausted before the show started, but it's cool. That's it then, I think. Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Mark and Greg tomorrow morning on the best show on YouTube, double jointed, 11 a.m. Eastern, because those West Coast guys are a bunch of babies. Yeah, best show. So, and then also
yeah,
you guys you got Saturday Morning Toy Collector doing reviews on figures and Meet the Collector. You got New to Mythics. You got New to Mythics Live. You got the Tribe. I mean, what don't you guys do? Right?
Prolific. Man.
Amazing.
wear shoes.
I'm not
I will
wearing
tell you,
shoes.
hey, tomorrow we're gonna have a really good show. And in much of Greg and I's true fashion, we figure it out the day before. That's we do shit. We actually are gonna have a really fun show tomorrow because we know that a lot of people are dealing with anxiety and with uncertainty around toy collecting, with prices and tariffs and all the things that could potentially be coming our way and potentially threatening a hobby that we all love so much. Greg and I are going to just sit around and we're going to discuss some ways to still have fun and find enjoyment with toys, even though prices could be going up.
Great
So
idea.
we're going to try to
When you said
try to
tariff,
put a positive.
Curtis's eyes glazed over.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no,
Not at all,
it's-
because
we
I
all know that
know
there's.
that you guys bring the fun. You
Want to keep it fun.
Saturday mornings are fun again. So I knew you guys, whatever it is, you guys are going to bring a fun spin on whatever.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not going to be political. We're
Mark
not gonna
and
be
Greg
talking about-
bringing the fun to tariffs.
There it is.
That's right.
Tariff fun.
Terrifics. Putting the tariff in terrific. Yeah, no, it's going to be a good time. Yeah, we've got some ideas
there
of
you
like
go.
what are some things you can do to sort of alleviate the stress of that, the anxiety of it, and how you can still enjoy this hobby. Because I know a lot of knee-jerk reactions are going to be, well, there goes my favorite hobby. I can't enjoy it anymore. I'm not going to be able to have fun. No, there's so many things that you can still do to find enjoyment with collecting. So we're going to talk about that.
Great idea.
Anything else coming up on your guys' channel this week that people should be aware of?
New episode on Tuesday.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, this was the weekend for the Tribe. We're going to take a weekend off because that guy right back there is it's his 12th birthday on Sunday. He turns 12.
Nice.
So
Happy birthday.
we've got a big weekend planned.
Happy
Yeah, we call
birthday.
it Birthday Palooza. Yeah, Nicholas, everybody says happy birthday. He's like, yeah.
Nice.
Sigma.
Happy birthday.
So yeah, it's a big deal. It's big number 12. We've got a lot of stuff planned. We're doing stuff tomorrow, and then of course on Sunday, and then I think we're going to cap it off by seeing Minecraft on Tuesday night. So we're all looking
Oh,
forward
very
to that.
cool.
Right on. Terrence is asking how his arm is.
Oh, Nicholas, can you show us your arm? Everybody wants to know how your arm is. Yeah, let's see that arm.
What
got a
that
cool
arm do?
scar? What that arm do?
So About 6 weeks
I don't.
ago, he was okay. Thank you. About 6 weeks ago, he was riding a
That's a
one wheel.
statue. That's not an action figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He was he tried to ride a friend's one wheel and he promptly fell off of it and broke both bones in his arm. So,
Oof.
Oh
Rough.
gosh.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not. Yeah, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, need to enjoy the figures we have. Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can extend the fun and get more fun out of stuff that you already own. That's going to be one of the things we talk about.
Beautiful. Dylan, you going to be on STL tomorrow?
Probably not. It's Passover tomorrow,
Okay.
so I have to be home for dinner relatively early.
You're a good man.
But I will be at the Wayne Toy Show in the morning, and
very
then I'll
cool.
be at Chubsy Wubsy in the afternoon before I head home for dinner.
Very cool.
What you hunting tomorrow? What are you hoping to land anything good?
No, I'm just going to hang out.
I'm gonna try and get out there when I'm at ToyCon. So
Okay,
hopefully
cool.
I'll see you there, buddy.
We could do another trip there. I'll be at ToyCon.
I'm there for that.
Beautiful.
I think Brendan is doing something at his house after.
Yeah, I
ToyCon
think he's
as
doing
well,
like a
so
meetup.
that'd be cool.
Jesse, are you
probably
coming
going to
out
be
to
some good
ToyCon?
food there because Brendan knows how to cook.
Exactly.
You wait. What now?
I was asking if you were coming out to ToyCon.
When is that?
2 weeks.
26th, 25th, 26th.
Yeah, no, I'll be prepping for Lehigh,
Okay.
Very nice.
which is the next weekend.
I have got a show this Sunday as well. It's QuadCon here in St. Charles.
Nice.
And I will see our good buddy Steve Mank from Articulated Times there. So
Mank.
Yep.
Awesome.
He
Good
wasn't
dude.
sure if he's going to be there, and then he messaged me earlier this week and said I am going to be there, and I was like, sweet. So
Give some knuckles to
enabler.
his son. His son is an awesome dude, Mason.
What did you say? It's called SquatCon.
QuadCon. So it basically travels around in a few of the different states in the Midwest, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Michigan, and this week it happens to be in Missouri, and it's like basically 10 minutes away from my house. So I'll go do that Sunday morning, and then Sunday night, we've got a show, Jesse, with a very special guest on Palm Sunday. You want to tell the folks who we got?
Jesus will be there.
Oh, Chris
Almost.
Garch.
Gorge.
D13 Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good get right there.
Yeah. So he's
Awesome.
going to be talking
That
about
guy's
kind of
rich.
the
And
state
who
of
knows what other
affairs.
characters might show up.
He's going to be talking about the state of affairs of the first Kickstarter of D13, as well as maybe what the future holds. So yeah, should be fun.
Hopefully, they're not having any affairs. They're toys.
That's true too. Good call. But
Biblical toys at that.
when we have Chris on, we'll ask him if he personally knows Moses and if he has any tips for Jesse on how he can gather some animals. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't even pay attention to who I said.
oh no,
Well,
that's right.
Moses is timely. It is Passover,
That's true.
and there are animals involved on Passover.
Bible 2, the sequel.
Second coming.
All right, folks, that's it. It's been a long one. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you. I didn't expect you
Thanks
to
for
stay
having
the whole
us.
time, but I really appreciate it.
That was awesome. Thanks for inviting
everybody.
us.
Tune into these guys' show tomorrow. I'm gonna keep saying it's the best show on YouTube. You gotta watch it. All right. Till next.
I
We like
agree,
to have
but
fun.
Curtis, quit kissing his ass. Good night,
I
everybody.
love these guys. They're great. See you on the OffWorld, folks.
Thank you guys.